Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we live? Of course, today. I mean, I guess limited sports. We don't want to just, go ahead and disrespect the rest of the sports world, chat. There's a WNBA game, of course, going on right now, but it's not even really worth looking up. I mean, just because of the score of the game, that's the only reason. 39-95. The Liberty, of course, are, headed for another, would it be 3 years in the championship in a row? 2 years in a row in the championship. They won last year, of course. But the year before that, did they play them and the Aces, they did play, I think, in back-to-back years, but I don't remember if the Aces won. No, they did win in the finals over the Liberty 2 years ago. But the 95-39, chat. 39 points with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is crazy. Tina Charles with 10, though. Shout out for Connecticut. But, yeah, the Liberty are looking dominant. So, speaking of the Aces, chat, Aces versus Storm up next could be a potentially fun game as well, too. We've got, I guess, Jewel Lloyd facing up against her own team. And the Aces are 3-point favorites. On the road, the Aces are 3-2, chat. The Storm are 3-3. So, who knows? Is there an advantage tonight? We hate when there's an advantage betting against our own team. But sometimes, again, that's where you find the best value. You just know how to study your own team. The Storm plus 136 in the money line. I don't know, chat. It's getting a little close there, a little even. I'm not. Maybe we'd want a little bit more than that. But Mercury Sparks after that. Link Valkyrie. Okay, so not a bad night of WNBA, chat. I'm assuming baseball, golf is in full swing, but we are, I guess, this afternoon. We've got the 35th anniversary. Can I do match chat? 1990 to 2025. 35th anniversary of an iconic Arnold movie, an iconic Sharon Stone movie, chat, an iconic Mars movie, I guess, an undercover agency movie, whatever, just, an iconic film, chat, to celebrate 35 years of that we'll be watching in a little bit. And make no mistake, we've also got to complete our Sydney Sweeney Tubi original, chat, that we were cooking up, because of course we got stumped a little bit last night. I had to do a little research, chat. I was actually doing research quickly after the live stream last night, being like, okay, what is actually the right inspiration to draw from? We got a little bit stumped on where to go and what the right movies and plot lines, and plus I was trying to think if there was any real life events to correlate what would be for this movie, chat. Again, if you guys, of course, weren't tuned in on the last live stream, we were cooking up another. The last several live streams, chat. I guess various live streams in the past, we have been cooking up Tubi original plot lines on ChatGPT. So the latest one we're gonna have, chat, and the one that we're gonna try to at least maybe make some headway. We didn't realize that they were gonna become like a 2 or 3 part series in cooking up the movies, but we got stumped. We had to take a break, chat, and go to the whiteboard, I guess, even behind the scenes, and then we'll try again today. But yeah, I was trying to do research. I guess what we were trying to figure out is a heist movie where we heist the shipment of Dr. Squatch Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap, chat. It's gonna be limited quantities, highly valuable. People are going to want to, of course, purchase under market, whatever the secondary reselling ability is of this product. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's just for our own private art house thieving collection as well, too. Maybe we just want to. We have like a Patrick Wilson Conjuring, or doesn't like. I'm trying to remember, what's that Ryan Reynolds movie where The Rock is The Rock or Ryan Reynolds like an international thief? Is The Rock an international thief? And maybe he's got a collection or stuff, or maybe it's Reynolds. I don't remember. There's something in that movie. Not a movie I really need to gone back and rewatch, but the character that one of those guys plays is a cool character. The international thief that's the collector of stuff, again, not the most totally original guy. But also, there's not a ton of movies that I can think of, at least from a major sort of franchise standpoint, that has that. You think James Bond villains can all kind of, and Marvel and all this stuff, they can all kind of be rich guys. I mean, Chat, the villain in Total Recall. I mean, very rich guy, corporate, overworld oriented when it comes to the villains as well too. But the other type of rich guy chat. It's just not really something that I feel like you see a lot in different plot lines, even though it feels like still like kind of a cliche. But yeah, we're gonna have to the other type of robber, I guess, the other type of art collector robber, or maybe it's just more of an older trope that we're not aware of. But yeah, we're gonna have to work on that plot line a little bit, chat. So I don't know, maybe we just dive right in? Hey, yo, chat. We just, I mean, again, sports are secondary. We go from saving the NBA and saving basketball and saving football to trying to save Hollywood, chat. Does the industry need us? Hey, yo, does the West Coast, chat, does Hollywood? I guess, Hollywood's kind of everywhere now. Hollywood's remote. Does Zoom need us, chat, to step in and save Hollywood? Let's get logged in here just to the right. Chat GPT real fast, and then we should be cooking. But yeah, we were thinking, we were trying to cook up some heist movies. We were trying to cook up some real life inspirations. Turns out, chat, there's not a lot of corollaries from real life soap truck heists. There was actually a couple of heists that I was researching that were like, okay, there was some heists on some Ayo, like some different cosmetic products like lotions and stuff like that, chat. But it was more like, it wasn't necessarily heist. It was more like, somebody robbed a store, more like shoplifting, I guess, more so than, again, this is a heist, chat. We're taking down the whole shipment truck. We don't want to enter a giveaway for this limited edition soap or whatever. We just want to, I think the easiest way to obtain the most of it would just be to intercept the shipment and redirect it into one of our warehouses, chat. Ayo, aka we got to pull a heist. So I guess, is that the way we're pulling the heist here? We'll have to see. But we just needed to see if there was those real life inspirations, and then what were the proper movie inspirations as well too. Because there's fewer movie inspirations for a armored car type heist than maybe you would think. Because I was trying to think, do we like add a little? Because again, we're intercepting the shipment of soap, chat. Hey, yo, it is what it is. And in terms of real life, there was, I think maybe famously, you guys have heard of this, because when I was researching, I was like, okay, I feel like this is something that I was familiar with. There was a Nutella truck that was robbed at some point. I think this might have been overseas, maybe in Germany at some point. Yeah, chat. Now, I guess, is that where the Nutella company is at, where the trucks would be, is that where the highest population of Nutella trucks are at, is this Nutella place in Germany? But what does this say? What is this source, chat? Atlas Obscura? Gastro Obscura? Hey, yo, who knows? But in Neustadt, Germany, part of the country not far from the French border, a truck with 20 tons of chocolate, including a lot of Nutella, went missing last week. And I guess, when is this from, chat? Like 2017? Yeah, 2017, of August of 2017. That's the problem was, the thieves behind such a caper is how one goes from profiting from such a haul. Yeah, that is, of course, if you're looking to profit from a haul. See, that's what they're not underestimating, Chad. Again, like in our potential Sydney Sweeney heist, are we heisting these soaps because we're trying to resell all the soaps and you make even more of a profit than we would have before? Like, maybe we just want all of the soap. Maybe they just wanted all 20 tons of Nutella, and they're like, we can't go in debt buying, what does it say here? Yeah, $82,000 worth of goods. So I guess it also had some Kinder eggs and other chocolates. But overall, Chad, $82,000 worth of chocolates. They're like, we're gonna go broke. I mean, this is basically, a hard-working person's salary in the Midwest, Chad. $82K just in chocolates. Like, this poor family, and I don't know the German to American dollar equivalent of what was stolen here, and then cost of living as well too in Neustadt, Germany. But you imagine, if you're going to spend a year's salary on chocolate, you might as well just take the risk of a heist, chat, and just see if we can just knock over one of these trucks. Maybe that'll be a quick way, because it's not like you have to break into the facility as well too. You can just hit a truck potentially. Police said the stolen truck was also carrying the other chocolates containing $82,000 worth of goods, and could have been towed away by a bigger truck. Hey, yo, chat, so is this like a UPS truck style delivery truck that just got hauled off in a semi? Have they not done that in Fast and Furious yet? Have they had like a van type thing in a truck? I mean, they've had cars in semi trucks, but that big of a like a box van, I guess is what we're thinking. Can you have like a box van inside of a pickup truck? Is a box van the right type of van? Is a box van a little smaller than a UPS van? Or is that... No, yeah, okay. Here we go. I guess, you know, obviously with the UPS van layout to the box van layout, it's a little bit different. But, you know, you could easily see... Could you fit $82,000 worth of chocolate in a box van like this, Chad? I think it could be pretty obtainable. Yeah, this more like transit van type thing, maybe a little too small. That you could definitely sort of pull into the back of a semi-truck AO, but otherwise, maybe there's a way you could... I guess this is in a way a semi-truck, so if you could tow it to just the semi-truck sort of bed as well too. You can just attach the smaller end AO to the larger semi-truck part. But yeah, for this Nutella, where were we at, chat? Nutella, 82,000. They also suspect a crime connected to an earlier theft of an empty truck. Have you been offered a large amount of chocolate through an unconventional channels recently? If you see something, say something. I mean, how would you even know, Chad? You're like, okay, this guy's like... Because, I mean, how much chocolate are they offering anybody at one time? Like, what is it a crazy amount of chocolate where you're like, wait a second, did you steal that? Like, how much chocolate would somebody actually have to offer you, Chad? How much Nutella? It would even... You know, if somebody offered me even, like, I guess, I don't know, how do they sell Nutella in bulk, Chad? I've never even seen bulk Nutella. I guess, hey, yo, whoa. Bulk Nutella? I think that might be a trainer over at the gym, chat. But I guess we just need to spend more time in Costco as well, too. So, yeah, this pack here, let's see. You know, like 30, 40 bucks. And you get a 12-pack. This is like a little, the Nutella and Go packs. I don't know if there's, like a jar. Like if you were buying the bulk jars here. This is more... Oh, what's this? A 2-pack? 6 pounds, chat? Hey, yo, so are they... Yeah, they're moving it around in 6-pound buckets? Okay, if somebody had their hand... If somebody offered me a 6-pound bucket of Nutella, I'd be like, that's, you know... that's $100 worth of Nutella. Like, you're just going to give me $100 worth of Nutella? Yeah, hey, yo, thanks. You know, is there a holiday that I'm forgetting about or something? A special Nutella holiday? But even this... What, 20, you know, some ounces, some jars here, you know, I don't know for Nutella shopping corner now, chat, but that's crazy. You can buy Nutella in 6-gallon tubs, I guess 5-gallon tubs, but 6.6 pounds of Nutella. Hey, yo, chat, you just order this at Walmart for 135 bucks. You get a big old jug of Nutella, a big old tub, made with the freshest raw ingredients. Hey, yo, chat. Including premium hazelnuts. It is what it is. 2 grams of protein per serving. Okay, so there's like 20 grams of protein in this whole 6-pound container. It is what it is. So I imagine that between all, I guess you could probably get to 82,000 pretty quick selling these buckets. So if you have a van full of buckets of Nutella like this, I mean, imagine, chat, you're just sitting around your house with just a whole side table of Nutella that you could just have a little... Do you have the hazelnut sticks attached with the little like French bread sticks thingies that they have with them? But there was that robbery as a potential base this off of. But again, I think a lot of what I was reading as well too, again, a lot of the armed car robberies are like a little kind of less eventful than... Because even still... Maybe, and I think you even find that as well too, chat, like with real heists, is most of the time they're less, maybe the actual like open gunfire element of a lot of heisting in movies doesn't maybe happen as much in real life. Maybe I'm wrong, but just in the little bit of reading, that's what it doesn't seem like. But most of the time, a lot of big heists are people, and that's, I think maybe the smarter heist movies take time to lay this out as well too, but a lot of heists are people on the inside, years of planning, and then they just kind of like decide, oh yeah, I'm gonna break away, I'm just gonna make a run for it here, and they just heist or whatever. And it with like nobody ever, like, again, in Heat, because we're thinking sort of a bigger version of that scene in Heat where they knock over the armed car. as well too, because that's the main one that stands out of an actual like armed car in transit, sort of knocking that over. I'm trying to think, like Den of Thieves, they rob banks, they get into an exchange with the cops running away, but that's not really the same sort of thing. So again, if the main sort of focus of the heist is going to be planning a heist around taking down a shipment of something, maybe we almost need to go back into like Western style, like train robberies. Like, I didn't even think about that, chat. Hey, yo, even more research here live on the pod. It is what it is. There was also a couple other, there was a cheese truck robbery. Maybe that one seemed new. I feel like Norm Macdonald maybe had a joke about the Nutella truck robbery. He also had one, there was a joke about a robbery of what was it, a Campbell's soup, chat? He said that they caught the guy that robbed the Campbell's soup truck and they put him away for good. So yeah, Norm Macdonald always down for a quick one-liner, chat. But the Great Cheese Robbery, hey yo, chat, hey yo, the newsroom was just probably buckled over laughing when they thought of this headline. Man arrested after 24 tons of cheddar totaling almost $400,000 is stolen from London. 400K, chat? You know, that's not that, but it's a lot of cheese, that's for sure. You know, 24 tons of cheese, 400K. You know, cheese does not seem to be one of the best weight per value sort of things. 24 tons, it seems like a lot of cheese for 400K. Or, yeah, that just seems like a lot of a substance, ayo, for 400K. A lot of pause it, raw material. Pause, is cheese considered raw materials, chat? Hey, yo, pause. I guess it depends on how you look at it. Hey, yo. But, in the end, it may have just been too much cheddar to make a clean getaway. Oh, chat. The double entendres are crazy here. Is that 24 tons of cheddar? Was it actually cheddar, or are they just making little jokes? And did he steal it from this place? Because that's not cool. You know, if he was knocking over some big cheese corporation? Whoa. But Neil's Yard in Derry, chat, the Borough Market in London, maybe this is a prominent franchise that we're not, like a dirty, corrupt franchise. Hey, yo, the Neil's Yard called out, chat. It is what it is, but they seem like a nice little mom and pop side store here. You know, just right in the middle of right in the middle of your walk, chat. Just, oh, wait a second. I smell bread. Artisanal cheese. But why is there no more cheese? Oh, yeah, some 63-year-old man has been arrested after more than 24 tons of artisanal cheese from one of Britain's most famous dairy companies was stolen. The man had been tainted of suspicion of fraud by false representation of handling stolen goods. He was taken to South London police station where he was questioned and has since been released on bail pending further inquiries. A spokesperson for the cheese worth $400,000 was taken from London cheese specialist Neil's Yard Dairy, October 21st. This was the year of 2020. Oh, 2024. Oh, so this was recent. This was this past fall, chat. Hey, yo. In an updated post caption, the company added, on October 30th, we learned that the Metropolitan Police made an arrest in connection with the theft. We're grateful for the process. Hey, yo, chat. They just can't help themselves. So, oh, gross, chat. Gross, look at this. Is this why did they photograph the blue cheese aisle? Where's that? I guess all the cheddar is gone. It's been stolen. The guy didn't touch the blue cheese, chat. Hey, yo. Look at this. This stuff looks nasty, chat. Nasty. I guess, you know, we don't judge too hard. We're not anti-blue cheese. We would eat it. There's things at the restaurant that are served with blue cheese. Of course, you know, blue cheese, I mean, you know, it's not a hot take here. But, it does not look like the most fun part of the room. And this room could smell aggressive, chat. This room could be pretty tough to walk into. You might have to have like some sort of mask filtration system to be able to handle a little trot through these hallways, because boy oh boy, a room filled with blue cheese. I mean, it's literally full. There's just a couple of wheels missing on the bottom. There's not even a shelf down there. There's literally like 3-4 wheels missing of blue cheese, maybe 5 or 6. The guy did not take any blue cheese. Do we have any more pictures? Can we pull this place back up on Instagram? Neil's Yard Dairy. Would they have any more? Maybe they don't want to have any more behind the scenes photos because of giving away their location. I guess they photographed the place where they had all their stuff, chat, because there is not really anything in the video behind this guy here. Oh, here we go. See, this looks good. This looks normal. What do we got here? Is this a Gouda or a Brie? This honestly just looks like wheels of... This looks like cork, honestly. So maybe it is some sort of cork situation, and then the cheese is inside, or is that just how the cheese looks? And I'm assuming this is some sort of quality controlled room. Yeah, you see the fans over here. You know, big open room, lots of air. I don't know what the process is, because you know, like wine cellars and stuff, there's like a real careful temperature that you gotta have. Is it Jamie Oliver, chat? Hey, yo, what's up, Jamie Oliver? So yeah, apparently last October. So are they still tracking this guy down? I guess again, they said they made an arrest. But Jamie Oliver is spreading the word. Oh, Jamie Oliver's on the case, chat. Jamie Oliver, also known as the Naked Chef on TV, told his 10.5 million Instagram followers to be on the lookout for lorry loads of very posh cheese. Oh, well, we all know what that means. I mean, come on. How are we supposed to catch this guy? They're like, wait a second. I found the guy with the posh cheese is on my neighborhood. Oh, no, wait, lorry loads of posh cheese. My neighbor's got no lorry loads. Hey, yo, chap. Pop! But, that's kind of crazy, chat. Oh, wow. This is a lot. I guess, you know, $400,000 almost worth of product gone from a potentially small business again is probably, yeah, devastated in a shocking turn of events. Neil's Yard Dairy has fallen victim to a brazen heist of epic proportions. A staggering 22 tons of premium cheddar worth about 300,000 pounds have vanished, leaving the cheese world reeling. Is he being serious, chat? There's no way he's being serious. The cheese world reeling? I mean, come on. The big cheese con. The thieves posing as wholesale... I was just going to ask, how did they manage to get this done, chat? So Jamie Oliver is not only is he getting the word out, he's the only one with the real journalism uncovering the story here of what actually happened. Thieves posting as a wholesale supplier to a French retailer dubbed Neil's... Oh, chat, they got took. That's even worse. Now, you know, it's one thing when some guy just uses brute force or years of planning to outwit and go past your security, but if a guy just, I guess, you know, that is a good heist movie thing, is sort of using your status as a client, maybe, or, you know, some sort of fake connection to get an in on the potential whatever you're trying to lift. But the precious cargo of valuable artisanal cheese was sent out in good faith, only to disappear without a trace. The thieves posing as a wholesale supplier to a French retailer dubbed Neil's Yard in London warehouse. Oh, chat. So is this just like they just called him and were like, hey, they're like, yeah, we'll invoice you or whatever? I don't know exactly 100% how invoices work, chat. I guess, you know, maybe we do. But on the business end of things, I don't know if there's a little bit more leeway to how this stuff works. But maybe they just said, like, hey, we'll invoice you for 400 pounds or 300,000 pounds worth of... That's the money amount. Because it's 22 tons in weight, but 300,000 pounds in British dollars, if that makes sense. But they're just going to send out 22 tons of cheddar to a wholesaler a French wholesaler that they maybe never heard of or didn't do any research on or whatever, chat. So I don't know. Lesson learned, of course, but what do? You have faith in some other... The one time you have faith in man, chat, they steal $500 million worth of product, or $500,000 anyways, worth of product. The purchase cargo, yeah, disappear without a trace. Cheese champions take a hit. Neil's Dairy, known for its 45-year legacy of championing British cheese, has already paid the 300 pounds owed to the cheesemakers for the stolen goods. This act showcases the company's commitments to their partner, even in adversity. Okay, so maybe this is sort of a big cheese corporation, chat. Because maybe, you know, who knows if they were just skimming that 300 pounds off the top, or if that was scraped together every last dollar to make this happen. But anyways, the company was committed, good faith to take care of your debts, even in a time of thievery like this, chat. The vanished cheeses included... Oh, wait, whoa. He's going to give us actually what these cheeses were. Hofud from the West Wales, Westcombe and Pitchfork cheddars from Somerset. The amount stolen equals the entire annual production of Hofud. is that Hoffa cheese potentially creating a significant gap in the artisanal cheese market. I didn't realize these guys wiped out the entire artisanal cheese market. Wait a second, so is this a brand or is this a type of cheese, chat? Oh, this farm doesn't even exist, chat. They don't even get to exist anymore, unfortunately. Wait, so let's look this up real quick. Did they wipe these guys out of business? Hey, yo, rest in peace, the Hoffa cheese family. Unpasteurized cheese made by the Holden Farm Dairy in Wells. Cheese is, we don't need to read about the cheese itself. Okay, so no, you can still buy it. So this is actually just a type of cheese. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is, chat. That's what was on the, wheel there. In the room, anyways. Inspired by a long forgotten, the long forgotten cheddar making techniques. Whoa, chat. I mean, I think America, could we use some leadership, maybe some long forgotten cheddar making techniques at the top. I don't know, chat. We'll workshop that line, but we have a gentle, slower, cooler recipe for hayfoot under the guy. Okay, what are cheese recipes now? Yogurt culture. Hey, yo, chat. I don't know about yogurt culture. It's somebody might have said that to us as a slur a couple of times, but I don't know about being in cheese processes here. But yeah, it does seem like, I guess, you get a little skin, a little crust or whatever on the outside of the cheese, I guess. I guess what I was gonna ask earlier is with the room environment, is there, I guess, if they're not branding as like a smoked cheese, AO chat. Because if it was some smoky cheese situation, then make no mistake, we might be making some purchases here. Getting gallon buckets of Nutella and bulk wheels of cheese, chat. Hey, yo. No heist here, just good, honest purchases, I guess, in this sense. But we got to make these good, honest purchases in this sense to be able to pull a heist on the Sydney Sweeney delivery truck. So, okay, I guess we could potentially inspire these events a little bit. I guess with the cheese one as well, too, the cheese. So the cheese was, they defrauded them more so than kind of heisted it. Because, again, a heist, I think, a heist is either breaking and entering or some sort of, again, it's all stealing. But the idea of posing as an honest business person, then just kind of straight up lying, is it? I guess the idea of like pulling the chair out from under them is a little bit different than, because I'm thinking Ocean's 11 as an inspiration as well too. In this one, testing 1 2 3. Am I still going? There we go. They're not necessarily robbing a truck in Ocean's 11. Obviously, it is a crew center heist movie, so that would, of course, help. But just being one of the top crew centered heist movies, but the idea of them being outsmarted versus them, again, just like duping them and tricking them and making them, because they do kind of incorporate both elements into it, where of course the older man poses as the fake businessman with the valuables, and a lot of it really, I guess it is kind of more of a kind of that kind of deception of a magic trick more so than a brute force entry type of thing, because that's how it's sort of laid out into the thing of them breaking into the vault and rigging with the explosives and all the stuff. But of course, I mean, I guess spoiler alert, but of course they enter the vault as the SWAT team later, not actually as the quote-unquote bank robbers. The bank robbery was staged and played on loop, and the cameras, all that stuff. But again, because the town Heat, those are actually like brute force. Baby Driver, The Italian Job, Chad, another couple of the movies that we were thinking about as well too. So maybe we just the idea is to just settle on movies that the heist movies that we really, really like. I don't know if the town plays into here as well too, chat, but I think the idea is to just go with Ocean's 11 as one of the inspirations. We're gonna need a couple of inspirations as well too. Wait a second, chat. Whoa! Whoa! Bless me, chat. Whoa! I guess. Wait a second. Should I say excuse me instead? I don't know what's the proper way to. Is it so? Either way, chat. It is what it is. You keep it moving, I guess, is the proper way to do it. But yeah. So we're using Ocean's 11 as an inspiration. We're, I think, gonna stick with Baby Driver as an inspiration as well too, because we want to keep cars in the mix. We want to keep it very chase element, the very chase sort of focused as well too. So we could definitely use Fast and Furious and maybe not overthink it, but Fast and Furious gets a little extravagant. It's very franchise focused as well too, so I don't know if we need to have the implied franchise element involved as well. Again, maybe just in the modern day, the idea of that versatility is something that you're going to want to always have in place. But yeah, so we got those two movies as definite inspirations, and then the third inspiration is going to be either The Italian Job, which again is a little more versatile with some of the chase and set pieces and a little more of that heist movie. But then I was watching this older heist movie over lunch today, because of course we were having I say of course, chat, but we were having Sunday lunch with our grandma, me and my brother over there, and I like to save some of the older movies for watching over there, of course, because she doesn't like to go crazy with some of the movies, chat. Of course, try to keep it simple, try to keep it a little, a little on the family or friendly side. So you get to, with the older movies, of course, you're just gonna be a little bit easier to control with some of the, definitely a little less aggressive, obviously, with any sort of action scenes, any type of way, chat. It's just gonna be a little less aggressive all the way around. But there was this older heist movie by Stanley Kubrick. Here, let me look it up here real quick, chat. It was called, and I didn't watch the whole thing yet. Just watched some of it, just because, it's a nice day, chat. We were eating outside. Wasn't going to be like, okay, well, let me sit and watch this. 56! Hey, yo. It was like, let me sit and watch this 56 Stanley Kubrick on a beautiful day and just miss out on the family time. It's like, no, throw it on in the background while we're putting around inside, and then when it's time to move on, we move on. But just the first couple of minutes of this, the pacing of an older movie, chat, and the dialogue and the way that the characters sort of interact back and forth. Like, there's a thing with movies nowadays, you feel like, oh, chat, there we go, we did it again. There's a thing with movies nowadays where you feel like a lot of the dialogue either gets praised or criticized one way or the other. For it's like, it gets praised for it's like, oh, this is kind of how people talk, or it gets criticized for like, nobody talks like that. Like, how do you, how is this movie realistic when nobody talks like that? Blah 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 blah. But there is almost something better to a movie when you're like, yeah, people actually don't talk like this. Like, this is a level above how the normal person speaks. And maybe, I don't know who was writing this movie as well too. Did Kubrick actually write the screenplay for this movie? Let me see. He did, chat. Oh, dialogue by Jim Thompson. So, American novelist known for his hard-boiled crime fiction. Best regarded works include The Killer Inside Me, hey yo, Savage Night, Hell of a Woman, Pop 1280. Are these a couple of books, I'm guessing, or are these movies? Yeah, these are all crime novels. So, film adaptations. Two of Thompson's books, The Getaway and The Killer Inside Me, were adapted into Hollywood motion pictures during his lifetime, receiving relatively poor reviews. However, Polito argues that neither adaptation ultimately true to Thompson's spirit. So wait, where is this other one? I guess he did the dialogue for this movie, not necessarily it was based off of his book. Let me see. Film work with Stanley Kubrick. Here we go. In 1955, Thompson moved to Hollywood, where Stanley Kubrick commissioned him to write an adaptation of Lionel White's novel Clean Break. The film was, this was the film The Killing, Kubrick's first studio-financed movie. And I saw, of course, Stanley Kubrick on there as the director when I was looking up some heist movies just on IMDb, and I saw this one. I don't even remember why I clicked on it. I just, older heist movie, noir. Sometimes listening to the We Might Be Drunk pod, shout out, Sam on there, Sam Morrell, one of the comedians on there, is always recommending like older black and white noir films to watch. So if I ever see one of those in sort of a recommendation or like a related to, you might also like sort of this on IMDb or something, I don't shy away from it. I'm like, okay, let's add it to the watch list. Let's be open to it, because the recommendations from that era and that time in those film, I don't know if noir is just I guess noir is not going to be just considered an era, right? It's more a style. Am I crazy? I don't even know how to spell noir chat. Let's see here what we've got. Surname, genre, film noir. Yeah. Okay, it is an era. Years, classic period anyways, 40s to 50s. The term film noir, French for black film or dark film, was first applied in Hollywood, and more so, for the literal like vibes, setting, lighting of the film. Yeah, low key, of course, a lot of silhouetted sort of stuff. I guess you get in the pictures and sort of what lives on, I guess, for the images that stick in your mind from these movies. But I guess they're probably, there's still probably noir inspired stuff being made today, or literally being made today. Chat, stay tuned. But yeah, so the idea of being open to those era films has definitely been made, again, with a lot of recommendations from listening to that show. So I was like, okay, let's check this one out. Kubrick as well too. He's of course a historic guy. 56 is 50s, mid 50s has got to be early on for him. So I didn't realize it was his first one as well too. That's cool. But let's see here. It says Thompson wrote most of the script, but Kubrick credited himself as the writer, giving Thompson only a dialogue writer credit. They collaborated again on Paths of Glory, and in criminal story titled Lunatic at Large that never materialized, despite Thompson having completed and submitted the screen treatment. Although pleased with the work, Kubrick was sidetracked by Spartacus. Hey, yo, when Kubrick returned to Lunatic at Large, the sole copy of Thompson's manuscript had been lost. Kubrick was quoted by family and friends as regretting the lost opportunity. Although the films would later be made based on Thompson's novels, The Killing and Paths of Glory would be the only films produced on which Thompson received on-screen writing credit. Ayo, chat. Who knows? We like 75% there on the reading. But yeah, so the ones that they actually made from his books, I guess they didn't involve him in, which is always obviously weird. But I guess shout out to Kubrick for at least getting involved. And it's funny that he was trying not to give him credit as dialogue. He's trying to take away credit for him as saying he's a dialogue writer. But to be honest, that feels still like the main writer. Like, what is a movie, chat, if not dialogue? Like, again, because again, Kubrick, the director, like if you have a screenplay credit and a director credit, but also a dialogue credit, it still to me seems like, okay, the screenplay elements. And I guess not every director, of course, is directly involved in how the story is necessarily made from start to finish. But of course, a guy like Kubrick as well too. Like, you'd imagine that there'd be the vision pieces over, the bigger picture vision pieces that he's kind of putting into place and steering the movie how he wants. And then, Jim Thompson is sitting down and writing the beats and writing the dialogues and actually writing the words, and Kubrick is crafting the scenes. Like, that actually makes sense. So, again, the credit actually works in favor, and hopefully the money and all that stuff works in his favor as well too back in the day. But the credit as well too, just initially reading it, like, actually I feel like, while still trying to take away, like, gives him actually the proper credit maybe. Not like he didn't do as much, but like it actually still emphasizes how much work he would have done on the film with that title as well too. And I guess I don't want to spoil it because I wasn't paying attention to what I was reading there, chat. So if you guys are pausing it, reading it, that's on your fault. But yeah, just the pace of this movie. I guess the movie is only an hour. It's 84 minutes, so it's not even an hour and a half long. So it's gonna have to move a little bit quicker. But the pacing of how the characters talk to each other, there's just a snappiness back and forth of the actors are almost talking like before the other actor is getting finished. Like, it is the beauty of that nobody would talk like. And I think maybe Sorkin-y writing can kind of be a little like this as well too, where it's like the quickness to which they're thinking of these monologues and just these long points and just the banter that's happening here. It's like, okay, it's clearly written banter that's happening, but I actually kind of like that, again, the pep in the step of how it worked. And there is a little bit too of again, when we talk about how people talk in real life, like there is that just, and I'm not saying like when I say real, I'm going to say like there is that real life filter that you have, and I'm not saying that like all the cancel culture type filter, like, whatever type of filter you want to say, but just, even again in real life, there's those certain things that you might not say or how you might not phrase it, or just the realism of it or whatever, however you're going to be communicating with people in conversation. There's just, there's different levels of how you communicate and how just what the conversation dialogue is like with the people that you're talking to. And at least this one, for example, as well too, but just in the older movies as well, there's like a almost, you don't want to say like breaking the fourth wall because they're not talking to the audience, but there's a extra layer of what they're saying to each other where they're still reacting like they're having a normal conversation, but it's like, okay, they're just saying like these extra sentences and these extra phrases and stuff. I almost wish we could pull up some of the scene. There was a scene between one of the girls and guys as well too, where they're just talking about. But let me see if it would describe it here, as well. His associate Marvin Unker provides financial backing for the plot. Makes his apartment available for a hideout. Provides his address. Okay, wait. So this might have been the movie. Might have been moving quickly here. Let's see. Johnny Clay, a career criminal, recently released from prison, plans a heist at a thoroughbred racetrack with an estimated take of. Is pretty good in 55. His associate Margaret, pretty good. His associate Margaret Unger provides financial backing for the plot, makes his apartment available for a hideout, provides his address to two of the track employees, cashier George Peedy and bartender Michael Riley. Corrupt police officer Randy Keenan joins the scheme. George, trapped in a loveless marriage with his materialistic wife Sherry, confesses the plan to her, which she immediately communicates to her boyfriend Val. At the hideout, 5 men conspire regarding the details of the heist. Johnny discloses that 2 other men will be involved, paid low flat fees for their roles. A sharpshooter with the kill favored horse. A sharpshooter will kill the favored horse. Okay, in the race to sow confusion. And a wrestler will make a scene at the bar to create a diversion. Oh, okay. Sherry is discovered as been eavesdropping on the plot, and the others separate George and Sherry. Johnny orders Sherry not interfere further until the heist is completed. And that's about as much as we saw until we had to break away to go with the family chat. But the scene between George and his wife, just where he wants to, because the reason he ends up telling her the plan is because of the loveless marriage, and because he's trying to like draw some emotional thing out of her, and I guess he's trying to like confide this top secret plan in her, and maybe he makes like that will feel like more connected in some way. But just the way she toys with him in the conversation and gets the information, she doesn't even really know what kind of information she's trying to get out of him. He's just like, okay, I kind of like got something to tell you, how important is it? Just like, she's like, well, okay, well, now that there's information I want to know, can I get it out of him? Like, how much can I control this guy? Just her ability to work him in the conversation, get the information out of him. It's great stuff, chat. Then she goes to the boyfriend, and she's telling it to the boyfriend. The boyfriend's like, we got to step in. We can, have lives for ourselves here. It's moving great. It seemed like great stuff. So I feel like we need to have elements of an old. Do we need to have maybe this guy write the movie? Will ChatGPT know? Dialogue by Jim Thompson from the 50s? Not dialogue by novelist Jim Thompson. We could do that, chat. Hey, yo, pause. In the voice, a plot for a movie in the voice of 50s novelist Jim Thompson. I guess, what does it say? His work. Published in the late 40s and through the mid 50s. Okay, so let's try. Should we use The Italian Job in one? And then the the works of Jim Thompson in another, chat? Hey, yo, let's see here. Let me move the camera screen down just a little bit and just see what we get here. Or here, let's go off while we type here real quick, chat. While we put the prompt in, and we shall see. Testing 1 2 3. Are we back? I don't think that is the right microphone here. Let me see. Oh well. If it isn't, we're committing with it, chat, and we will see what happens. But okay, so we want We need a plot of a movie. Oh, and the one last thing that I should say as well too, Chad, and the last rule before we quickly cook this up is I don't feel like we can specify that we're stealing Sydney Sweeney's bath soap in this, not because it's gonna canceled, but the plots get too crazy. It does it doesn't necessarily cancel us, but it does feel the need to explain why the bath soap is so covered. It's like the bars are sold for $50,000 a bar. It's like, okay, I'm not against the idea of it, but we don't need like 17 scenes explaining why we're going for the Dr. Squatch soap. We know why we're going for the Dr. Squatch soap. It's pretty self-evident to anybody that is watching this movie. Oh, movie chat. But we need a plot of a movie. A plot of a heist movie, chat. Plot of a heist movie where... Oh, chat, we can't spell. Here we go. Plot of a heist movie where the main heist... So we just got to be vague, chat, in what we're heisting. The main heist is a robbery of a shipment. Oh, wait a second. Shipment of valuable non-cash items, chat. Here we go. Valuable non-cash. Maybe we should have had this typed out. A little copy and paste action would not have been a bad idea whatsoever. Chat. A plot of a heist movie where the main heist is robbery of a shipment of valuable non-cash items in the style of Ocean's 11? I guess we have to specify the new one, chat? It might know. Is it Frank Sinatra? Speaking of old movies, maybe we watch the old Ocean's 11. Though we could watch the new Ocean's 11 as well too. That's a pretty grandma-friendly movie, chat. I mean, it's a little. I guess it's not like intense or anything, but you get nice action sort of anticipation of the heist, and it's not necessarily like a, even like Clooney gets, quote unquote, of course, taken to that one room with the bouncer, and the bouncer's gonna teach him a lesson for messing with Tony Benedict. But it's not like they ever really, obviously Clooney barely gets bruised up. They tie up the guards. There's nothing really anyway, Chad. I think that is a grandma friendly movie. I guess. Maybe language. That is the toughest one. That's really the main reason as well too that older movies can be nice, because the language can be a little thing, but sometimes that is an issue. But either way, Chad, in the style. So I don't know if unfortunately, I don't know what she might watch our Tubi originals just because she's a fan, Chad. But who knows? Maybe on mute. Maybe we have to make like a radio edited version of the Tubi originals, but in the style of Ocean's 11, Baby Driver, and what do we want? Written? Okay, wait, and how would we say this, chat? In the style of novelist Jim Thompson? Of crime novelist Jim Thompson? In the style of Ocean's 11, Baby Driver, and yeah, I guess let's just see. I guess we can change it. We can see we won't spend too much time on it, but and crime. I guess we should say maybe 50s crime novelist, since that's when he was working. In 50s crime novelist Jim Thompson, chap. We want this guy to be cooking up the script, the scenes, the beats, the play-by-play of the movie. So let's see here. We need a plot of a heist movie where the main heist is a robbery of a shipment of valuable non-cash items in the style of Ocean's 11, Baby Driver, and 50s crime novelist. Hey, yo, chat. Jim Thompson. Okay, shout out. Is he TH? Yes. There we go. Let's see what we get. Is this good enough to generate a prompt? The porcelain job. So again, maybe it's listening to us, chat. It knows it's got to be some sort of toiletry items. But the ultimate heist, of course, in the movie, the final production, we're going to be knocking over the Dr. Squatch truck. But in this plot, of course, we're not specifying, so we'll just have to switch it out in our imaginations in post-production as well, too, chat. But the porcelain job is crazy. Okay, a washed-up getaway driver, a smooth-talking grifter, a bitter ex-FBI art specialist, and a crew of damaged misfits plot to hijack a $100 million shipment of priceless Chinese antiques. Uh-oh, chat. In this climate, but the real con isn't what's in the truck. It's what makes it out alive. Whoa, chat. Ocean's 11. Okay, so tone. Ocean's 11, cool with jazzy rhythmic pacing and layered planning. Wait, so does it say like action thriller? It doesn't. I guess it's telling us right now. Cool, with jazzy rhythmic pacing, layered planning, kinetic action, emotional stakes with car chases and music-driven sequence. Okay. Jim Thompson's psychological rot. Everyone's got a secret, vice, or a breaking point. Oh, okay, chat. Okay. So I don't know if that gives us the dialogue in the style that we want. Maybe we should have specified that. Can we edit, undo, and answer, chat? Hey, yo. But psychological rot. Everyone's got a secret, a vice, or a breaking point. So that's not bad. I mean, that can kind of go into... I mean, Ocean's 11, of course, is the guys working together as a team, making it out as a team at the end. But maybe the Jim Thompson twist is not that. So wait, what happens here, chat? I guess maybe we need to... Are we spoiling The Killing? The Killing... Wait, what is the name of the movie that we were watching? The Killing, yeah. It was The Killing. So are we spoiling The Killing for ourselves, chat? Like Savage Night. The killer inside of me, I feel like, is... Okay, a couple of dudes on the cover. I didn't know if this would be... Oh, there's a dead lady on the cover, chat. There we go. I didn't know if this would be more of a, you know, a little sexier book, chat. But Savage Night, Pop 1280? What is this? 1277 of the citizens are just plain folk. Thieves, Simpsons cheats. Thompson turned the derived crime genre into literature and art, featuring unreliable narrators, odd structure, and quasi-surrealist narratives of the last thoughts of dying or dead characters. A number of Thompson's books were adapted into films: The Getaway, The Grifters. Writer has suggested Rosmus Herring. Oh, hey, yo, pause. So, yeah, Thompson, of course, great for the genre, very talented, all-time stuff. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily say that specifically about his style. Oh, here's his style page, chat. Let's see what we got. So, stories were about grifters, losers, sociopaths, and psychopaths. Some at the fringe of society, some at the heart. Their nihilistic worldview being best served by first-person narratives, revealing a frighteningly deep understanding of the warped mind. There are a few good guys in Thompson's literature. Most of his characters are abusive or simply biding time until the opportunity presents itself. Okay, chat. Okay, see, again, with Kubrick, there's a little bit... I don't know, I'm not here to talk about Kubrick's style. But this one was forming... So I guess the idea of all these guys sort of turning on themselves and the secrets being unveiled as the movie goes out, like, that could definitely very well be. Again, the group was just sort of forming. The heist was just sort of being planned when we turned it off. So, hey, yo, chat, we're in for a darker twist. Okay, let's see what we get. This could be in for something that I wasn't quite expecting, but, setting, Los Angeles, of course. Summer, dry, golden heat, and a haze of corruption. Calvin Cal Rusk, an ex-getaway driver who lost his nerve and now delivers tacos in a beat-up classic Mustang. He's pulled back into the game by Nicky Vale, a silver-tongued con man with Vegas polish and Texas dirt in his veins. Ooh, chat. If anything, we're going to make the movie just because Nicky Vale's got he's a silver-tongued con man with Vegas polish and Texas dirt. Sounds like a great character. Nicky's got a lead. A private museum transport truck moving a collection of ancient Chinese porcelain, jade, and gold artifacts from a billionaire's estate to a secret vault. The cargo is worth 9 figures, but it's under the radar. No cash, no headlines, just obscure items for the ultra rich. They pulled together a team. Okay, chat, so I guess they haven't really got us the beats for the movie more so than this, but so far, again, not too much to say that Nicky Vale goes to Calvin Cal Rusk and says, hey, we need to steal the soap from the Dr. Squatch truck. Sydney Sweeney's got this limited edition collection. We have to knock over this van and take the soap. And they assemble a team as well too, making it to a billionaire's vault. We'll see how the plot points match up potentially as well. Maybe it works up. So they pull together a team. Marla Knox, ex-FBI art crimes expert, now bitter alcoholic and brilliant. Okay, chat. Alcoholic ex-FBI expert? Perfect. I'm all in already. Switch, gender fluid tech prodigy with a god complex and a knack for jamming security grids. Okay, chat. We're in 2025. I think our first two movies, a lot of just, a lot of non-gender fluid characters. So I guess we needed one for the third one. Truck, ex-con enforcer with brain injury and a heart of gold. Daisy Rusk, Cal's teenager daughter, an amateur mechanic, and car modder who wants in. So Cal's teenage daughter and Truck, ex-con enforcer with a brain injury and a heart of gold. Trunk? So is Trunk a little brain injured in this one, chat? This is a fun crew. So Act 2, the plan. They chase the route, a low-key, high-security van guarded by a private firm with ties to cartel money laundering. So we find out Dr. Squatch is money laundering it with the cartel. There's a 24-hour window while the pieces are being transported from the estate to an insurance-controlled storage vault. Okay, so that could line up. Before the shipment gets shipped out, it goes to this insurance-controlled storage vault. Does Dr. Squatch actually have this? Who knows? But Nikki's plan involves a faked detour using stolen uniforms, an identity switch, and a convoy swap during a freeway tunnel detour. Each character's flaw threatens the job. Cal's PTSD makes him unreliable. Marla's drinking is spiraling. Trunk's loyalty to Cal blinds him to the truth, and Nicky might be playing a long con of his own. Meanwhile, we learn the truck isn't just moving art. It's a cover for a smuggled red jade idol said to be cursed. Oh, so Dr. Squatch is up to no good, chat. Desired by collectors and gangsters alike. So, I mean, it could be that this whole Sydney Sweeney ruse is a ruse to move this jaded idol somewhere. And, why bring attention? But maybe they're trying to just uncover, or like really go undercover with the movement of this thing. But Act 3, the heist. The heist begins smooth. Switch fakes a construction site detour. Marla plays, and Switch is the character, not just also what happens here, but Switch fakes a construction site detour. Marla plays the insurance adjuster. Truck rides shotgun in disguise, but a rival crew appears, tipped off maybe by Nikki. Bullets fly. Cal and Daisy go into overdrive, and Daisy hot wiring a decoy truck and leading a car chase to mislead the cops. In chaos, they secure the goods, but the red jade idol is gone. Act 4, the double cross. Turns out Marla stole the idol and vanished, leaving a message. Finders keepers. Nikki was working with insurance insider to fence the porcelain and pin it on the cartel. The insurance SWAT team and the cartel are going to have a shootout in the street, chat. Cal's daughter swapped the trucks at the last second, outsmarting them all. Oh, chat, the teenage daughter winning at the end. Final twist, Daisy drives off the truck and the idol, leaving a message for her dad. You taught me too well. Oh, she even double-crossed her dad. Is kind of a nice twist as well, too. Final scene, Cal broke again, but smiling. Jazz on the radio, back to delivering tacos. Maybe this time he's proud of the getaway. Okay, so this is not, this might be our first actual, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, chat. I don't know. Maybe the performances are able to steal. Maybe the turn of sort of Daisy winning in the end is the critics like that. I don't know, chat. We'll see here. I guess, we've got our crew. So we've got Marla, Switch, Truck, and Daisy as the main, and really the main three main four with Cal Rusk. And then Daisy as sort of as a half, with her being sort of in and out as an amateur on the actual crew for their main heist. But what are the are the other side characters? Because we have the heist for the crew, but what are the other side characters, chat? We'll cook this up here real quick. The porcelain job. This one might be actually a new name one as well too. Okay, retired safecracker. Crew adjacent characters. So we got a safecracker, locksmith guru. Defense. Vera Lang? Oh, chat. Ultra stylish, unflinching under pressure. Runs a high-end art gallery in Koreatown that doubles as a black market appraisal ring. Where did they cook up this character from? Used to be Marla's lover when they were both still with the FBI. So the very progressive movie, chat, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a fan of this relationship. Marla and Vera Lang. Sounds great. Maybe we need a scene between them two. Only interested in the red jade idol. Tells them the rest is just pottery. That piece, that's blood history. Hey, yo, chat. Vera Lang. We'll stop at nothing. Detective Stan Morley. Burnt out LAPD cop. Think Columbo meets PTSD. Smells something off with the transport job. On medical leave, but still snooping. He's in the background during prep scenes. Knows Cal from back when he caught his old crew. Cal owes him. Could blow the job or save them from something worse. Opposition / threats. Oh yeah, so this would be crew adjacent, guys. So he's kind of a burnt out cop on leave with PTSD from other things right now. Could have taken him down back in the day, but didn't. So Clara Vu, private security team leader, runs the armored transport detail, ex-military, no nonsense, emotionally unreadable. Starts off professional but smells the con midway through the heist and turns hunter. Ooh, rival tactician, foiling the team's every move unless distracted. Ooh, chat. So I don't know if we're casting me and Sam in this movie again. We have to Sam to try to charm Clara Vu and keep her off her game, I guess. But maybe this is a Ronda Rousey part? Who knows? The Mandarin! So we're just ripping off Marvel characters, I guess, now. Never seen until the very end. Mystery collector. Anonymous buyer who ordered the red jade idol through back channels. Uses proxies, encrypted messages, and anonymous bank accounts. Wants the idol back and hires his own crew to intercept it during the heist. So that's the rival team. I was going to say, I kind of like the idea of... So in this one it said, remember, I think Cal is the main character as the guy who is supposed to be the getaway driver for the heist, but Nikki, it seemed like the one was the guy that was planning the heist, so I guess we forgot about him too when mentioning the other house, mentioning the rest of the heist crew. So if you've got Nikki planning the heist, I kind of like the idea of Nikki hiring two teams to double cross each other and then have him get away with it somehow, but yeah, I guess that's not where it's going. The Mandarin, the mystery collector, is the guy that is going to be hiring the rival team in this case. Wants his idol back, I guess is what he's saying. So the rival crew, obviously the Slicks, younger, flashier group of gunmen for the same shipment, led by Jet, Echo, and Miro. So this is literally just a Marvel movie at this point now. We've got Echo and the Mandarin in the movie. I don't know if the rival crew has to be casted as well, too. I think the rival crew can't just be like vague SWAT team guys showing up as well. I don't know if they need like actual scenes and parts and dialogue. Oh wait, Echo, hacker who used to date Switch, still bitter. Daredevil wheelman who used to idolize Cal and Cal snitched on his crew. So maybe they do have a bigger part in the movie than you would assume. Mira and Miro, European twin assassins. So that's just the Scarlet Witch and Aaron Taylor Johnson characters as well. And then world-building minor characters. Manny the taco boss? Cal's day job manager. Okay, constantly firing and rehiring Cal? Mr. Lau Bright, the billionaire collector, dead at the film's start. The entire transport job is from his estate sale. Revealed in flashbacks to be megalomaniac obsessed with owning lost cultures. So this is like the character from Inside Man almost, but just... So this is... Can we make this Inside Man Part 2 almost? This is the Sydney Sweeney heist movie. But he's dead and he's moving now. He's using the Sydney Sweeney shipment to ship whatever is in the vault, that Nazi memorabilia in the vault, and then now we have to heist the truck and then destroy the memorabilia and all this stuff. I don't know if that's Inside Man 2 or not, but revealed in flashback. Yeah, his death is mysterious. Some say the idol killed him. Oh, okay. So Dr. Ping Chao, historian of of Chinese antiquities, morally flexible academic who consults for Marla, provides exposition about the idol's origin and curse, but hints it may be tied to war crimes, not mysticism. Oh, Ayo chat. Okay, so I don't know if we want to, have a Daryl Morey situation with this movie here, but let's see. Okay, so we got to go casting as well too. We need casting ideas. Let's see if it's gonna cook on this as well. Jim Thompson Noir Heat chat. Let's see. Oh, we should have gone with more names because I'm not really feeling the porcelain job as well. The red jade job, the Sydney Sweeney bathwater. I don't know. There's something in there, chat, that I think is a little bit better than the porcelain job. So casting ideas. Let's see. Main crew: Oscar Isaac or John Bernthal. Okay. So Sam, Oscar Isaac, or John Bernthal? Who do we want, chat? Nikki Vale, Jake Gyllenhaal, or Pedro Pascal? Very high level guys. I mean, we haven't worked with Bernthal yet, or Isaac. Isaac as a washed up sort of PTSD guy, but Bernthal could play the PTSD as well too, and he's going to be a more violent bruiser edition. So do we want him to be a little more schizo, or do we want him to be a little more punch through the wall type? Jake Gyllenhaal, charismatic and fast talking. Pedro Pascal, more weathered and sympathetic conman angle. But Nikki Vale is the smooth talking grifter, so Gyllenhaal could be a good smooth talker as well. Gyllenhaal talking Oscar Isaac into going back into retirement could be good. I could see him talking Oscar Isaac more so into Bernthal, but maybe I see Oscar Isaac being more convinced than Bernthal, if that makes sense. Oh, even though I do see, feels like he's 10 seconds from flooring the gas or crumbling completely. Yeah, chat. That is a little bit of a more of a fragile movie with Oscar Isaac as the lead guy. So we've got Marlon Knox, Charlize Theron, or Carrie Coon for more cerebral noir tones. So who is Carrie Coon, chat? The name not necessarily familiar to us. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Ghostbusters? The newest Ghostbusters movie? Married to Tracy Letts. Hey, yo, chat. Shout out. Did not realize that. Was just listening to Tracy Letts on a old episode of The Big Picture not too long ago. Oh, Gone Girl? Okay, Lake George. The Boston Strangler. So she can be in kind of... The Post. So she can be in these, drama type of... Widows! Oh, chat, we need to rewatch Widows as well, too. So we should have put, in the style of Widows would have been nice. So Carrie Coon, I think, could be good. Is this the second time we've passed on Charlize Theron for a movie? But I think it's because we keep getting Charlize Theron as the side characters. If anything, we want to build a movie around her, I think. I don't know if we just want to have her as the bitter FBI art expert, but, her in a side role, chat, just Steph Curry shooting threes could be insane. Switch, tech prodigy with an attitude, Hunter Schafer, or Amandla Stenberg, chat. That's what's the book movie adaptation? The Hate You Give. That's The Hate You Give actor. I think it might have to be them, chat. I think that's the right answer. Truck, the soft-hearted muscles. This is the guy with the brain injury. Winston Duke or Dave Bautista. So I think if we're going brain injury, I mean, shout out Bautista. It's just because it's just because he played Drax so well, and obviously Drax, there's a simplicity to Drax's character that Bautista is able to play so well. So if we have Bautista and Bernthal and Gyllenhaal, this becomes a real testosterone movie, chat. A real I guess Oscar Isaac can get some veins, chat. Ayo, pause. But he may not obviously have the same muscle mass that Bernthal can get, but if he gets in the gym, he can get that lean cut and be really fitted up when he's got the AK or whatever, and he's having to fire up on the police or something looking, really tough. But we've got Amandla Stenberg as Switch. So Switch was the one that makes it out at the end too with Daisy. Jenna Ortega versus Sophie Thatcher, Yellow Jackets, for a scrappier vibe. Okay, Chad, we're gonna have to check Sophie Thatcher. Is there any way Sophie Thatcher can pull the 1-16 upset and take down Jenna Ortega for this part? Hey, yo, chat. Okay, so it's the Boogeyman series. Viewers are hooked by new horror film they say is Barbie, but with added blood. And she might be the star of it, chat. Okay, so taking over the horror thriller world as we speak. Raised in the Mormon Church. Built for horror movies, chat. Hey, yo. But, I think it might have to be Ortega. This is a weirdly high-powered movie, chat. Hey, yo. I guess, we're passing on, but, Kuhn, I think, seems like a pretty high-level star, of course. And Stenberg is on the rise as well, too. Oscar Isaac and Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, that's definitely a fun cast, chat. Hey, yo. Oh, wait a second. We got the side characters in the rival. What's going on? So the daughter with grit, and then Jenna Ortega is the one that makes it out at the end. So that would obviously make a lot of sense if we're going to cast Jenna Ortega. Her winning the movie in some way would make sense for her taking that part. So we get sharp, emotionally rich, feels like a mechanic with something to prove, can handle both action and layered emotion, and can definitely, again, fit between the sort of unsuspecting vibe as like the daughter that's like, oh no, you gotta stay in the background and be safe, but then also is the smart one planning and maneuvering the whole time as well too. But then, like we've seen in other roles, chat, has the ability to, because again, I'm guessing we're still talking an adult daughter. I guess, did it say as well? It just said younger daughter, right? It just, I'm still, we're talking an adult here at the end of the day. Just in terms of experience compared to the rest of the crew. Hasn't quite put in the 10,000 hours of heisting yet at this point. But Gemma Chan in a side character as a security pro, I guess she's the one leading the team as well too. Bolo Ramos, the retired safecracker. Danny Trejo, lock it in, chat. Lock it in. Stephen McKinley Henderson for a quiet, sadder portrayal. No, we got to have Trejo in here throwing heat for a couple minutes. Vera Lang as the fence as well too. Bruce Greenwood as Stan Morley, the morally fated cop. Oh, Jeffrey Wright back in the mix, chat. We haven't had a good Jeffrey Wright casting in a second. Let's see, who's Bruce Greenwood? Oh, okay, for sure. I know the face. TV star guy. Yeah, chat. I feel like we could get this guy in a Tubi movie. He's down for some Tubi classics. He's playing the cop. I don't know though. Jeffrey Wright. Chad, this is turning into a really comprehensive plot again. So we're really getting in the weeds here. Gemma Chan, Danny Trejo, Michelle Yeoh, Bruce Greenwood, Joe Keery, the Stranger Things guy, Sophie Botella, or the twins from Matrix Reloaded, Tilda Swinton, and Kate Blanchett. Whoa! That would be a high-powered twin combo, chat. Tilda Swinton and Kate Blanchett would be nuts. B.D. Wong as Dr. Ping Chow, and then Michael Shannon again as Mr. Lau Bright. Chat, are we 0 for 2 on our heist movies? We might be. I don't know. I feel like the other two, we got them first try. The plot seemed to fit. The characters, it all worked really well. The casting seemed to fit. So, I mean, were we going to have perfect luck every time? And were we getting a little dramatic by adding a novelist in here with Ocean's 11 and some other stuff? Maybe I need to finish that 50s movie before we continue using that as like a launching point. So I guess at least we have this here, chat. Like, just save our progress. We can always go back to it. So what, are we going to have a part 3 on the heist movie? I guess we might, chat. I guess we might. Who knows? But that's the Hollywood process. That's what happens. I guess should we just cast Sydney Sweeney in the heist movie as well too if it's going to be about her? Chat, see, there's so many more ideas we can unlock, but we got to get to watching Total Recall at some point here, chat. We got to take a break, and I guess we could cook up maybe a little bit during that as well too. Let's take a break. Let's get Total Recall on in the background. 35 years later, chat, still watching it on couches to this very day. A Sunday afternoon like this, it holds up. I guess we'll see, chat. Just fine. On this side after this. chat. There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are live. We are back. We are about to fire up the 1990 Arnold and Sharon Stone classic, Total Recall, which right now is currently streaming on Paramount Plus. So if you guys want to watch along, of course you guys can fire it up as well too at any point. Of course, when you guys jump in. But as of right now, we've got the movie pulled up. We haven't hit play yet, but we will now click over. What are the, I guess, real quick chat, similar movies? Cloud Atlas, The Running Man, Terminator, Minority Report, Hardcore Henry, Singularity, Section 31, Eon Flux, Arena Wars, Interstellar. That far down the list, chat? Hey, yo. Halo, the Twilight Zone TV show. Okay, not important, chat. Just a couple of random ones throughout the start there. Cloud Atlas, The Running Man, Terminator, and Minority Report are the 4 most similar movies on here to Total Recall. Maybe in some ways, chat. Who knows? But here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's loading, and it is. We get the ad to start. So I don't know if Paramount Plus will stay like this for the rest of time, but for now, chat, we hit play. We get the Criminal Minds Evolution ad to start. But yeah, 1990, of course. I was looking up at some of the box office success for this movie. I don't think this movie was necessarily a major critical darling at the time. It's tough to say now how much of it has been retroactive history, and like we've talked about as well too, I think with the way that characters can become so ingrained in our lives that their movies can age a little bit better, or at least a little bit more rewatchable anyways, because of the fact that we just end up loving these people that are in them so much. But I mean, Arnold and Sharon Stone are, of course, are going to be right at the top of the list. Okay, still a top 1,000 most popular movie, chat. That still feels like a accomplishment in somehow. Okay, nominated for 2 Oscars. I'm guessing if it's only 2, it would have been in more of the effects category. Best sound, best effects, and then winner, best special achievement editing. Ayo, chat. So 3 Oscars at the 91 Oscars, and then 1 win. So shout out to Eric Breivik, the one guy. I mean, this is make no mistake, chat, a pretty great movie. I mean, again, we're rewatching it here. We enjoy it. You've got a lot of actors at really interesting times in their careers giving really great performances, and yet the special effects crew is still able to win the day, chat, at least in comparison to the rest. Oh yeah, you've got the police chief guy from Beverly Hills Cop is in here as well too, chat. Michael Ironside is in this movie as well. So I don't know if we go back and look at 91-90 here to see what we had going on. 1991 Oscars was what was at the Academy Awards. 63rd Academy Awards. I guess, do we have to check and see if Total Recall won for oh, it did get nominated in this one, chat, 3 times. Oh, so films with multiple nominations, I guess. I don't know if it had, does it have a list of films with just 1 nomination on here as well. But Dances with Wolves 12, Dick Tracy, Godfather Part 3 was 7. A lot of technical awards for Godfather Part 3. Goodfellas was 6. Cyrano de Bergerac 5. Ghost, Avalon, The Grifters 4. Wait, so is this another Jim Thompson? What's going on here, Jay? Yeah, based on Jim Thompson. Shout out our guy. Cusack? We might have to add this. Okay, we might have to add this one to the watch list, chat. 1990? Do we add this one? Do we do like a first-time watch-along? Do we have to do something like this? Because this would be another 35 anniversary here. Our guy Cusack is going to be right up at the top of the list for actors, chat. Of course. On the screen. Anyways, the performances that they deliver. But okay, yeah, the critic scores is looking good, chat. It's on MGM Plus. Okay, we may have to try to work around that, but that one is going to definitely get watched very soon. When's the anniversary for this? I guess, I don't know why I'm not looking this up here, chat. I guess because I was adding it into I actually had to add that one into the personal watch list there for a second. Oh, December 7th limited in the US. Oh, wide release, chat. Hey, yo. January 25th, 1991. So we got January next year, the 35th anniversary officially in 2026. We could do a first-time watch, or I could watch it a million times between now and then develop a great relationship with this movie, chat. And I'm reading the plot again. The problem is with these older movies, it doesn't have like the whole expanded thing to give you the intro section before the plot. Okay, chat. Yep, we got Arnold and Sharon Stone on Mars. And honestly, again, if you want to talk about movies aging with time, a lot of the stuff with these types of movies is more so the technical aspects of the movie, and even more so as well now too. And I guess technical aspects, and then when we are looking at content that ages in the movie, it's a different type of thing, obviously, where it's not so much how relevant. I mean, in some ways it is, to various degrees, like how relevant is the story, obviously, but it can be the other way where it's like, what are, obviously the things that didn't age perfectly from a story standpoint. And, we could go for the worst versions of it, or we could just go, and, for what this is, a sci-fi movie, again, on maybe the simpler, more fun versions of it, there are versions where it's like, okay, this sci-fi movie takes place in 2001. Like, is there not a 2001, chat? Am I crazy? This shows you, as much as we are fans of, I feel like we're, again, like fans of like, Rotten Tomatoes scores 50 and lower. Like, we start going high level cinema, then we may not necessarily know what's up. 2001, obviously a Dr. Dre album. But Space Odyssey, yeah. Oh, Stanley Kubrick again, chat. So is this one on Tubi as well, too? I think Doctor Strangelove is also on Tubi, which, another Stanley Kubrick. I don't know if we just go on a Stanley Kubrick run, chat. Do we just take a minute to just watch Sharon Stone and Arnold interacting, chat, on screen? Legendary stuff. And we've got Arnold as well, too. Do we have to go back and, I guess he's done a lot of the action roles, so I have to go back and, I'm going to need to see the list to recall all the female stars. Once Sharon Stone is on the screen, basically, she's pretty much the only person on the planet you can think of when she's on screen, chat. But this is also, I guess, there's a lot of things we're getting into here. But, hey, yo. So, yeah, Sharon Stone and Arnold, I guess, do we get into the rest of this movie after this scene, chat? It is what it is. But this movie is set in 2084. So it's fun that there is a science fiction movie set in the future, like that we still haven't gotten to yet. Because again, like Star Wars, chat, you think Star Wars is a galaxy far, far away. Like, are we trying to get to we're still, again, Total Recall, we're still obviously trying to get to Mars. But the idea of a galaxy far, 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 like, is there a year for Star Wars? Like, what year is Star Wars set in? You've got Interstellar is current day, but then time jumps. And then time is just being experienced differently in different parts of the universe, and then he gets trapped in, I don't know what, four-dimensional. I have to go back and check that out. I think is Tenet set in the future, or is Tenet just extra technology that we don't really know about? But again, this is 2084, and I think has a lot of times, a lot of, like, what is, I guess the Flintstones is set in prehistoric day, chat, but, like, a lot of stuff does sometimes overestimate what technology is going to be looking like in the future, maybe. But, are we going to be on Mars, colonizing Mars by 2084, chat? 2084. It still seems a little aggressive. I don't know. I don't honestly know what the realistic possibilities are to colonize Mars. You could get into the philosophical arguments of it. You could get into the practical arguments element of it. Like, either way, I guess not either way, but, it's just like, I guess even practically, like, the 50-year window. Because I know Elon was having tweets, like, putting out 35 to 40-year projections on it. So maybe he's watching Total Recall, like, is this his gameplay? Has this been Elon's game plan the whole time, chat? Total Recall. But, again, with the whole, like we're saying, not even just the Mars aspect of it, where it's like the idea of colonizing Mars is a thing. The idea of what this movie represents of, and I guess I'm not necessarily the one that's going to sit down and break down the themes of this movie, but, it's very obvious what they're talking about here when the guy's got like the air owned and he's got all the resources on Mars and he's like basically monopolized everything. I'm just the big corporations and all that stuff, chat. Like the idea of what would happen when you go to Mars, like it seems like very possible that the idea we get to Mars that we have there's like a pay for air sort of setup, and then how do the resources all get, like just the exact sort of problems that we get into here, and then the monopolizing of the stuff. Like, hey, you just see it all sort of laying out in this movie. And you could definitely see this movie aging interestingly in that way. Again, I don't necessarily know. I'd have to go back and rewatch this a bunch more times to get the beats of the government in this movie. But, the principles of it don't seem too outrageous. And there are, and I think as well, are we saying the politics of the movie, how the politics of the movie age, but the tech as well too. Like the tech in this movie, again, with the way that it's sort of, because the monopolization has, and I'm not speaking on, again, making points here, but with just the way it's set up, like they've monopolized it. So they're limiting the tech, and the tech still seems maybe even a little more limited anyways, but it doesn't seem so outrageous for 2084. I guess I'm going to have to remember I guess they're implanting fake memories, but basically, with Apple Vision Pro and stuff now, chat, like it's not so far off that there's not a version of, again, people being immersed in a fake memory sort of reality as well too. So again, this movie continues to get more and more interesting as time goes on as well. The TSA screen, chat, the safety zone screen, the X-ray screen. Luckily, a very PG X-ray screen. There's a version of that X-ray screen that the security guards just becomes a very filthy job. But fortunately for the privacy of the citizen, it just is a very simple X-ray screen, and it is what it is. But yeah, 19. So it's interesting setting, like we're saying with the future stuff, and great time for Arnold in his career as well too, because you're getting him. This is, I think, basically his first. It's obviously not his first non-action role because it's still an action movie, but it's his first, maybe a little higher concept. He's maybe going for a little more actual acting in this, and maybe on a larger scale as well too. I don't know exactly like every role that he was doing before this movie, but I think he basically knocks out all of his bigger action stuff again in the 80s. And this is 1990, right? And he still, I think, has some of the franchise stuff continue as well. Let's see here. Are we on? Oh, we're on Total Recall, the page. We're looking for Arnold, the actor here. Let's see. Arnold's filmography, the whole page of it. Over 40 films for a career, which is like a nice watchable amount, You don't necessarily Arnold taking like a ton of side roles early on, not necessarily the same, but again, I guess 70s, Chad, his first role 1970. I didn't realize I guess Pumping Iron 77, but again, you got Conan the Barbarian in 82 and The Destroyer in 84, Terminator in 84 as well too, Commando in 85, Predator in 87, Running Man in 87 too, Twins in 88. So I guess Twins is kind of the shift where he goes a little bit. What are some of these other ones, chat, that I'm not maybe? So Hercules in New York is it just literally just that, just Hercules in New York. So Arnold, of course, gets his start by playing just all of the mythological Greek characters, Hercules and Conan. The Long Goodbye. Oh, The Long Goodbye, chat. This is on the watch list for sure. Again, I feel like I've added this one on recently. Elliot Gould. Yeah, we might have to get to that one soon. Stay Hungry, a comedy drama. So he kind of started in that lane as well, too. Jeff Bridges, chat, screenplay by Charles Gaines. And then we've got Pumping Iron in 77, of course, the documentary. The Villain, 1979, Metro-color Western comedy, directed by Hal Needham, starring Kirk Douglas, our guy Arnold, and Margaret Paul Lindy. I think it's Lindy, right? Or just Lind? Foster Brooks, Strother Martin, Ruthie Buzzy, Jack Elam, and Mel Tillis. A parody of Western films. So he's kind of just a mix of everything here, and then again finds his lane as the action star in the the mega box office action star, I guess, in the 80s. I'm assuming mega box office for most of these. Predator and Terminator, anyways, I would assume. But Commando, I guess I'm just assuming big box office because it's Arnold. Let's see here, chat. Yeah, 10 million budget to 57 box office. Okay, not bad, not bad. I guess Predator in 87 would have been 18 million to almost $100 million gross. The Terminator, is the Terminator like 200 million? Oh, 78 million, chat. 78 on the box office? Is that just opening? What's the aftermath? I guess, has this movie gone triple platinum since then? We do need I think we need a platinum system for movies. Maybe calculate the streams in afterwards as well, too. I don't know how that all works. But what's Red Sonja, chat? A sword and sorcery epic. Written by Clive Exton and David Mc... Based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name? Okay, so we played in a 1985 Marvel Comics movie? What is this, chat? American sword and sorcery epic. I didn't even know this was a genre of film. The sword and sorcery. I guess it makes sense. I'm assuming what, Lord of the Rings? The Hobbit? Would this be a sword and sorcery? Can we get a list of sword and sorcery films? Here we go, chat. List of sword and sorcery films. Hey, the 1920s, the 40s, 70s, 80s. Yeah, are there some newer ones? I guess Tubi maybe would focus on more of the 90s. Oh, a Red Sonja remake? They're remaking it, chat? Hey, not with Arnold. Looks like with a different cast as well. Michael Bisping is in this? Huh. Interesting. Eliza, is that Gonzalez, chat? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where's the cast at here? Eliza Mantagu. So this looks like a bunch of newer faces a little bit on the cast. I'm not as familiar. Matilda Lutz. Oh, a classic horror story. Yeah, maybe not stuff that I'm necessarily checking out. Dungeons and Dragons, considered a sword and sorcery. The Green Knight. Okay. Yeah, The Hobbit is considered one. Oh, 2000. So the 90s, chat. What do we got? The Never Ending Story. Beastmaster 2. The First Night, 1995. Whoa, is that Sean Connery and Richard Gere? What is this movie, chat? Richard Gere is a knight? Holy cow, Richard Gere. Hey, what is this setup? I've never seen this Richard Gere movie before, chat. This one might not even be on streaming. 127 at the box office to 55 budget, though, is not bad. But, anyways, talking about Arnold, he moves, of course, he starts to anyways at least move Twins, I guess, in 88, and then Total Recall. But anyways, those are his next three movies after Red Heat in 88 as well. Which buddy action, I guess he starts to move into action as well, too, there. Because The Running Man, dystopian action film. Paul Michael Glasser directed that one. And then, like we're saying, he still has Terminator 2 and some other Terminator movies mixed throughout here. I mean, he's got, Terminator Genesis and then Terminator Dark Fate as well, too. He's in the mix. And the Expendables franchise, making cameos in there. But for the most part, is at least doing some different acting stuff. I guess, Batman and Robin is, he's going for Mr. Freeze, so an iconic character. Different than, I think that does go a different type of action than his. Because, the Batman villains, Batman feels like a little more of a traditional hero. The Batman villains obviously feel like a little bit more, not artsy, but they're a little more, there's a little bit more direction to go with the villains than just the action hero. Okay, chat, so we got Arnold strapped in the chair right now. He's going for the memory implants. He's getting the dreams. I guess, do they ever say how he gets the dreams? Is that, I guess it is sort of his OG past starting to sort of be uncovered and go back to the surface of his memory again. So maybe that's just the natural problem. Maybe it's just, what happens in this sort of setup anyways. He's just going to regain that consciousness and it's just starting to whatever. I guess I'd have to remember what sort of program he was under. I guess it is the brainwashing program. So it's just the brainwashing is wearing off, I guess, is how he's getting the thing. picking the what is this custom build a lady for again, chat? I forget. Again, Sharon Stone is in this movie, so I don't know. It's like just subconsciously replicate Sharon Stone when you're making this figure, I guess. I mean, it's not too. Oh no, he remakes the other chick. That's right. Okay, chat. That's how you know we would not be the hero of the movie. We're like, well, what's this life with us and just Sharon Stone as the fake wife? I mean, can we make this work? Can Arnold not? Because well, I guess spoiler alert. I guess we should have just said spoiler alert for this movie, anyways. But I mean, we said we're watching it, so that kind of already implies a spoiler alert, does it not? But yeah, we would just be like, okay. I mean, the Sharon Stone life is not bad, chat. It's not bad. Oh, lap pull down. They still have lap pull down in this one, chat. Maybe even on Mars, they bring a squat rack to Mars potentially. But did they get this from somewhere else, or did they just have a section where, or maybe this is just Arnold training for the movie? There's like, Arnold, you're doing back day. Can we just film this lat pull down sesh real quick? And Arnold going with the lap pull down behind the head is an interesting move. I don't know if everything of all of Arnold's training techniques are, the scientific method. I don't know if our guy Jeff Nippert is necessarily given the 100% write off and everything that Arnold did, but that behind the back lat pull down is that's not even really something that you see guys in the gym. I've never really seen it. There is one guy that does that, but it's the one guy that you're like, oh yeah, he's kind of doing all the little like off ball workouts. I mean, I'll try to mix in, again, a not an off workout, but I'll mix up the variety every now and then. But if we're mixing up the lat pull down, it's gonna be, we're mixing up the grip. We're narrow. We're going with the neutral versus the wide versus the different handles, paws. Sometimes you got more of the, you got the standard pull down bar, but then sometimes you got the, again, like we're saying, the neutral grip on the wider, but then the closer neutral grip, I guess. But then you got the closer sort of. But does anybody do a close, like wide, the wide grip, but then closer, where your palms are out? I don't know if anybody does that grip on the lat pull down corner, chat. It is what it is. I think if you go with the close grip, you go with the neutral grip most of the time. But again, or pull up. I guess, no, wait a second. The guy that I've seen in the gym is actually, I think he tries to do the pull-ups behind his head. He'll like do the pull-up bar like this, chat. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess it's still working some muscles, and it's not like you're not getting stronger, but is it not better to just like focus on the locking out on the normal rep, and then maybe just increase the pause, or the slow down the tempo of the normal pull up? That's my advice, chat. I don't know if you're taking workout advice from the REMINGTOM pod, but before you add weight to your old lat pull down, or before you throw on weights on the old weight belt for the pull up, change. Just focus that tempo. Nice slow tempo. Lock out at the bottom. Pause it, get the chin up there 10 times, chat. See what can actually happen. But I mean, the self-driving cars, chat, like 2084. I mean, so we've got a self-driving car with an animatronic driver. I don't know if the animatronic driver is actually tasked with doing anything, or if he's just there for, the branding and the marketing and all the different stuff. But those are two things that are, I mean, those are there. We could put that on the road today. I mean, we have the self-driving cars, and the idea of this style of animatronic is, well, to like easily put that in the car. You could just have that. You just take a Disneyland doll and just stick it in there and just give him some lines to read off. But the idea of an actual good sort of AI robot that might actually be able to sort of converse a little bit as well too, might actually be a realistic thing as well. So yeah, 1990s. But again, with Arnold as well too, in 1990, on the turn of the decade, like Predator only 3 years earlier, like Predator is maybe, I guess it's tough to say what peak Arnold is, chat. Pumping iron, obviously. He's Mr. Olympia. So it's like, is this not peak? I guess if we're talking the, peak Arnold body, pause. But, that's going to be, literally winning Mr. Olympia is tough to take down as well, too. But in Predator, he's insane in Predator. But in Total Recall, you're still getting, like, the youthful sort of action hero vibes from our guy Arnold. But again, he's like, okay, now I'm mixing it with the serious action chops as well too. And it was saying on here that this movie was in development for 16 years, Chad. Here it is. So they bought the right, I guess, whoever the producer was. Oh, the screenplay guy, Ronald Shusett. Oh, creator of the Alien franchise. Whoa, Chad. Didn't know the name there. We're still learning. But Shusett, if we're saying the name right, bought the rights, and Arnold just out of nowhere just dipped back into the John Wick bag and took down all the henchmen that attacked him as well too. So you got Shusett bought the rights to chat. Dick's story. Pause. But Philip K. Dick, our guy Phil. So he bought the right to Phil's short story in 1974. So yeah, the story originally was a 1966 short story. We Can't Remember You for it wholesale. A science fiction novelette by writer Philip K. Dick. So related to Grady Dick, chat? Who knows? But they bought the right to the short story, developed the script with O'Bannon, so Dan O'Bannon. Although considered promising, the ambitious scope kept the project in development hell at multiple studios for over 16 years, seeing 40 script drafts, 7 different directors, and multiple actors cast as Quaid. Total Recall eventually entered the early stages of filming in '87 under the De Laurentiis Entertainment Group shortly before its bankruptcy. Schwarzenegger, who had long held interest in the project, but had been dismissed as inappropriate for the lead role, convinced Carlo Pictures to purchase the rights and develop the film with him as a star on an estimated $48 to $80 million budget, making it one of the most expensive films in its time. Filming took place on the expansive sets at Estudios in Mexico over 6 months. Cast experienced numerous injuries and illnesses during the filming. Just throwing that in at the end. Anticipated to be one of the year's successful films on its release, the film earned approximately $261 million worldwide, making it the 5th grossing film of the year. Critical reception was mixed, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter, Chad. It lives on as a classic to watch. But yeah, 16 years in development. And you think about it, again, the scope as well, too, of them filming a lot of it, with some big Mars set pieces and some big space sci-fi adventure hopes for what telling the ultimate version of the story is. Not to say that there isn't a version of the story that couldn't have been made in the 70s, but like we're saying, the idea of a lot of the tech in the movie holds up, but the movie visually holds up as well too. Like watching it, I mean, again, you can tell when you're watching a movie that's not made in 2025, but there is a brightness to the movie. Like I almost want to say like a saturation as well too, but there is just a brightness to the movie that keeps it fresh even now, where the graphics still feel pretty good, the text still feels pretty good, and the what do you call the violence, chat, the gore, I guess, like there is, like, she gets him pretty good with the knife here. If anything, she probably could, if she goes for a stab instead of a slash, she probably could have got Arnold, to be honest. She had the drop on him, and then he's got the gun up against her, chat, what do you do? I mean, now we're just agents fighting at this point. This is not really a dispute beyond that. But yeah, I mean, she could have definitely got him as well. Do a clean cut across the forearm. He probably could have bled out from that alone, to be honest, if he doesn't get a little pressure on that wound. But the one across the chest as well too, like she could have got a really lethal stab on him if she goes in with the stab. So, trained agent, chat, I don't know how much pre-agent training she has, because of course she is the actual wife of one of the other operatives, but I don't know if they actually lay out her operative history in this. So maybe she had a little more weapons training. She just takes Arnold down in the first couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden there's no movie. But I mean, it also is great, like, how many guys can survive just the ability to work through their assassin past being brainwashed from them and then having to just get it back from their subconscious. Like, this is when you're like, okay, I'm glad I'm Arnold. Because if it's me, chat, if those, 5 or 6 guys pull me into that area underneath the highway and just try to, beat me up after they're like, okay, his memory is starting to go back. Like, he's compromised. We need to fix him as an agent. Like, I'm done, chat. I'm done. They might not even need to send 6 guys. They send like 3 guys. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, just bop, bop, he's gone. Like, I'm more of a, I'm not necessarily a brute force operative. That's for sure. I probably got a little bit more of a stealth role in the force. Oh, chat! Arnold, he had to drop her. He's got to make a getaway, though. What do you do? I'm not promoting it, but again, it's agents in this situation. So, life and death, I don't know if that's the priority here for our guy Arnold. But an early chase through a mall scene, chat. I think the MCU, Winter Soldier's got a good chase through a mall scene. Him and Scarlet, who's Black Widow. Or obviously, smooching on the old escalator there, chat. But is this an early chase through a mall scene? I'm trying to think, does Eddie Murphy have a chase through a mall scene in one of the Beverly Hills Cops? I know there's some stores, some big, like, expensive sort of places. Like, there's some retailers. But I don't know if there's, like, an actual mall chase through an escalator type situation. But yeah, maybe it actually worked out. And again, getting Arnold, getting this cast, getting this, getting all the pieces in place. Like, this was definitely the right time, the right format. I guess, for when it was released, I don't know if, like I'm saying, it was released at the right time, but for the making of the movie and how it's held up, it was made perfectly for the technology that was available at the time. The story, like we're saying, is they had enough knowledge maybe as well too in 90 as some of the modern tech that was starting to happen with, I don't know where the internet was at in 90, probably not really existent at this point. But you've got Heat in which, Simmons and the Rewatchables crew, they always joke about how they invented the internet in Heat, and Heat is like what, 95 or 93, so it's a handful of years. Like maybe the early pieces of it, or like the idea of some science-y, wired-y things are in existence. So it can help sort of project out some of the technological stuff. And this X-ray screen, chat, I do think that there is a missed opportunity here for a good fight scene behind this X-ray screen. But, of course, he gets caught with the gun behind the screen, sets the alert, and then just breaks right through and then runs away. But I think there's a good chance for... Because, again, you get the skeleton sort of silhouettes on the screen. So there's a good chance for the skeletons to sort of brawl it out real quick. You've got the guns sort of highlighted in red, as well, too, obviously, as the threats, as the system detects. But you could have a couple of gunshots, boom, boom. Maybe even a couple, like, headshot kills there, chat. I mean, not to say that this movie shied away from the violence, but you could kind of have... I think there's a fun moment. They did try to remake this movie, I think, in, 2012? Yeah, 2012 remake, chat. Hey, yo. We're not going to talk about this one. I honestly didn't even realize this movie existed until, like, a couple of months ago. So, Colin Farrell, Kate Beckinsale, Jessica Biel, chat, like, some good pieces. Make no mistake. You got Oh, wait a second. Just story back. I guess I was going to say, you got the writers back as well, too. But no. Film directed by Les Wiseman and screenplay by Kurt Weimner. So we're not calling anybody out. We're just saying that maybe they need a take 2 on the... Oh, yeah, like this death on the escalator, yeah, is pretty violent. But I was talking to somebody about this as well, too, because... we have a couple of friends, obviously, at the... 2 friends at the restaurant. No, we have friends at the restaurant. But, you have friends where you have different conversations with, like, this friend is the music friend, this friend is the, like, we kind of just the random conversation friend, this one is the movie friend. And when we were talking with the movie friend, we were kind of in the same lane of the amount of violence and gore we like to take in a movie. And they were just saying that they had watched one of the newer Tom Hardy movies on Netflix. I think it's called Havoc. Here, let me see if it pops up here real quick. Because I think they said it was a newer one, chat. Yeah, 2025 film. Oh, Gareth Evans, chat. What others has he done? That's a familiar name. We should know here. Feature films, let's see. Havoc Apostle? Oh, The Raid? Am I thinking of The Raid? Yeah, chat. Shout out to The Raid. Apostle. Yeah, I don't know if that one hit the same way. We'd have to go back and watch that one, though. Dan Stevens? you know, that's a fun guy to build a movie around, for sure. But I guess he directed Havoc as well. So, you know, The Raid is not necessarily it's not a violent-free movie. That's for sure. But they were talking about we'll say the violence and the gore in this movie. And I think they were saying it bordered on almost a little, like, borderline comical as well, too, with the amounts that they were going for. But there's something in the 90s as well, too, where they didn't have, at least in this movie, like, and this is, like, you know, gore detailed corner chat, but there's not, like, the, like, the spewing and the puddling and all that stuff that you get in some of the modern stuff. Like, a lot of it is just really contained into, like, the clothes in this movie. Like, there's a couple of just, the guy gets just lit up and drops to the ground, and it's just, like, you know, his shirt's got, like, it's almost like they just, just spilled juice on his shirt. Like, obviously a little more than that. But it is funny, the evolution of the blood technology. Hey, yo, chat. And we're talking about, you know, movie gore when we reference that. But, yeah, Total Recall was one that I was thinking about when we were having that conversation. I was like, there's just, like, nobody's just, like, sitting in, like, if I remember, nobody's just, like, sitting in a pool of blood. Like in the movie. Hey, yo, chat, this is a tough conversation. I think I might even be getting a little iffy after this. Just talking myself into getting lightheaded. It is what it is. But, yeah, Arnold barely making it. A lot of Arnold barely making it out in this movie, chat. He's gonna be running around. So, yeah, I guess we should mention Sharon Stone as well too, who in '90, of course, hasn't quite made the full Sharon Stone rise yet. Of course, Basic Instinct is '92, and then some of the other films as well too. But I don't know remember what the pre-'90 run was here. So let's go. This might be the first, like, big breakout. I guess we could just skim through here. It's probably gonna say Paul Verhoeven's Total Recall, science fiction action film. He played the film opposite Arnold. Film received, giving Stone's career a major boost. So yeah, obviously early on this was going to be a big role, but just in terms of her as a lead as well too. You know, in her career, here you go, selected filmography. If we can get the full list here. Here we go, Chad. Cinema, Stardust Memories, Les Ustare Turasasa, Deadly Blessing, Irreconcilable Differences. In 1984, King Solomon's Mines. AO chat. In 85, Alan Quarterman in The Lost Gold City in 86. Police Academy 4. Citizens on Patrol. Cold Steel, Above the Law. Action Jackson. Beyond the Stars, Blood and Sand in 1989. And then Total Recall in 1990. And then, yeah, Basic Instinct in 92. Last Action Hero again. Oh, a cameo in Last Action Hero in 93. Yeah, Quick and the Dead. Then in 95, shout out our guy Gene Hackman. There was, I feel like every week, chat, another movie. What movie here? Let me see. It'll be quick in the it'll be right up on top of the most recently viewed movies, because there's always a movie we just found that's like, oh, yep, Gene Hackman's in that one too. Is it Barry Lyndon, chat? Let me see. Maybe that was an obvious one. No, I guess it wasn't that one. Maybe I've looked through more movies than I've thought recently. Rope with Jimmy Stewart? How far back we going here with our guy Gene Hackman? We gotta give him a little benefit of the doubt, chat. The Devil, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. No, I don't think it was that one. No. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Ethan Hawke. The trailer for that did look pretty crazy. Was it the OG Italian Job, maybe? Maybe it was this one, chat. No, okay, we'll find it. We'll give it one more chance. 3 guesses on what the Gene Hackman movie was. Or we just go back to the Gene Hackman page. Deliverance? Dirty Harry? Full Frontal, chat? Which one was it? It wasn't The Golden Child, because we just watched that one. Gene Hackman, not in that. Oh, Full Frontal is 2000s. Okay, it's not full. Oh, maybe The Split. 68? It's either The Split, Dirty Harry, or Deliverance. American Graffiti? I just clicked on Deliverance. Maybe it's not that one, chat. I knew it was Deliverance. Okay, I guess whichever Gene Hackman movie was. It's lost in history, but it was some early Gene Hackman movie. That was like, okay. Once again, just randomly discovering this. But yeah, the first big Sharon Stone role. I mean, you get sort of, and not to say that, you know, again, 92 to 90 is not necessarily a long time. And I don't even know the filming for Basic Instinct as well, too. Like, she's probably filming them pretty simultaneously. So again, like, that some of the earlier scenes in Basic Instinct, and I don't know like exactly how old she is here as well too. So like, what kind of difference a couple years is necessarily going to make in the look, but there is a maturity that she's able to have in Basic Instinct, and a lot of it's just the character that she's playing and the way that she carries herself, but and just her overall look as well too. But some of like the scene where she first gets introduced, where she's just sitting on the dock, and that's just like, I mean, just hot, just Sharon Stone. I mean, just hot Sharon Stone the entire time. Make the much hotter scenes for Sharon Stone in that movie than that one, but that is probably her most similar to Total Recall, just look, I guess, in that movie. But then again, you get the writer, the sort of rich vibe. She's kind of carrying herself a little differently than kind of like a little bit of a goofier, sidekicky character in this one. And I forget who the other main character is in this one as well too. The person that's like his actual wife in this one that he ends up running around with a little bit later. Here, let's see if we can go back. Rachel Ticotin, chat? Yeah, she had a pretty stacked filmography. Yeah, Total Recall, one of the earlier films. And then you get Con Air in 97. Ayo, chat. Full Disclosure, 2001. Man on Fire, 04. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants in 2005. Super Intelligence in 2020. But that's not a bad collection of movies, chat. Can't Be Heaven. I thought it was I thought that was some other movie there. But yeah, you got Total Recall. What do we say? Con Air, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and Man on Fire. That's a pretty solid Mount Rushmore for Rachel Ticotin. So there's some good film, TV runs in there as well too, chat. But Paul Verhoeven as well too. I need to know more of his movies. I guess, did he have a stacked filmography? Okay. Oh, he directed Basic Instinct as well too, chat. Whoa. So he had a 3-film run of RoboCop, Total Recall, and Basic Instinct? That's not bad, chat. That is not bad. I don't know the critical acclaim for RoboCop. I think maybe it did okay. Let me see here. That's when you hear it and you're like, okay, I don't know if that sounds like a critically successful movie. Yeah, Cinema Score moviegoers gave a letter grade of A-. Let me see here. What do we got for in the moment? Does it say some publications found Verhoeven's direction smart and darkly comic, often sharp and social satire, often offering sharp social satire. Hey, there it is, chat. Is Roger Ebert's review on here anywhere? And Roger Ebert praised Weller's performance and his ability to elicit sympathy and convey chivalry and vulnerability while concealed beneath a bulky costume. Okay, chat. Shout out to Mr. Ebert himself, R.I.P. But that's a fun 3-movie watchable run there. And that's a fun run because those are, I mean, Total Recall and RoboCop are both very sci-fi, obviously, very sci-fi movies, of course. And you got big action stars as well, too. Because isn't RoboCop, who's RoboCop, chap? The film stars, Peter Waller? Who am I thinking of? What movie does Jean-Claude Van Damme star in, chat? Is he in like a RoboCop 2? Do we need to go through, is he in some sort of movie like that? Do we need to go through his filmography here and see? Okay, chat. Arnold, every action hero's got to do like a self-surgery or something at some point in the movie. It's just one of the checkpoints. That might be an early one though. I don't know. The 80s, is that something that happens a ton? Let's see here what we got for our guy Van Damme, chat. Inferno, The Replicant, The Order, Narco, Kung Fu Panda 2. He's the voice of Master Croc. And Master Croc, I guess, again, Kung Fu Panda 3. Okay, I guess he's not in any of those types of movies, chat. He's not in any kind of robot type movie. Breaking, 1984. Cyborg, 1989. Is this what we're thinking of, chat? A martial arts cyberpunk film. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Black Eagle? Bloodsport? I don't know. Maybe it's just not named the same way. Universal Soldier? What is this? Science fiction military film. It's got to be one of these, chat. Oh, Time Cop. I'm thinking of Time Cop. That's the name, because RoboCop, Time Cop. Okay. So Time Cop is the one that maybe did not get the critical reviews in the moment, chat. Hey, yo, shout out to Time Cop. Let's see here what it says. Opened at #1, grossed 12 million opening weekend. Critical response, average tomatoes, Rotten Tomatoes, 42%. 5.2%. What is that? IMDb, Metacritic score. Metacritic, 48 out of 100. So not necessarily... Roger Ebert, speaking of it, called Time Cop a low-rent Terminator. Hey, yo, chat. It's not necessarily a bad thing if you're just trying to go for a fun, rewatchable movie. I think maybe Time Cop is that. But not, obviously, a groundbreaking piece of cinema, either. Not like RoboCop or Total Recall, chat, or Basic Instinct as well, too. So I guess that's just his 3 in a row. What else did he have? Oh, and Showgirls as a 4th. Oh, wait a second. I'm thinking of, and this could be a great movie, but I'm thinking of Dreamgirls, the Eddie Murphy side supporting character, Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce movie where they're the singing group. So maybe Showgirls did get awarded for stuff. Let's see here. It does have an award page. Oh, the Raspberries, chat, the different kind of awards. Hey, yo, maybe that's where I'd seen it on here before. The 1995 Golden Raspberries. A record 13 nominations, still standing. Hey, yo, chat. So we followed up one of the best 3 movie runs with Showgirls. Was Basic Instinct like a Raspberry movie, though, in the moment? I could see that getting some nominations. It did, chat. Michael Douglas, worst actor. Also for Shining Through. Did he get nominated twice in 1990? The 1992 Golden Raspberries? Janine Triplehorn, worst supporting actor. See, sometimes the Golden Raspberries is actually, like, more fun than the real. You're like, oh, Basic Instincts in here? You know, not bad. I don't know about Shining Through necessarily. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So maybe sometimes it's just like the one random, like, corny movie sort of gets in. Like, make no mistake, like, you know, is Michael Douglas's performance in Basic Instinct, like, award-winning the other way? Oh, see, a Bodyguard's in here, chat? So what is this? Is this just the 1 year? Best Picture? So I guess Basic Instinct didn't get the award, but you got Kevin Costner in Bodyguard and Michael Douglas in Basic Instinct, Jack Nicholson in Hoffa, and Tom Selleck in Folks. So, I mean, you got a stacked cast here. Stallone won for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot as Sergeant Joe Bumowski, a buddy cop action movie with Estelle Getty. So I mean, this movie already is not going for critical acclaim. Like, this is back when even the Golden Raspberries used to be good for Hollywood back in the day, chat. But like, what's the worst movies that Hollywood's putting out? Oh, The Bodyguard and Basic Instinct. It's like, oh yeah, what are the best movies in it? Oh yeah, it's like, oh well, there couldn't have been better movies than this in the early 90s. Like, oh yeah, well the Goodfellas was also being made. So, you know, we were competing on the other end as well too, chat. But yeah, worst picture: Shining Through, The Bodyguard, Christopher Columbus, Discovery, Final Analysis, and Newsies. So Total Recall avoiding the Golden Raspberries for the most part, but not our guy Paul Verhoeven, chat. Starship Troopers, Hollow Man, Black Book, Ellie in 2016, and then Benedetta in 2021. So he hasn't had a film released since 2021. Does he have anything in development, chat? Do we need to pull up the Paul Verhoeven page here and see? Okay, our guy, 1938. Maybe he's just retired, chat. Maybe he's just enjoying life at this point. He's definitely had a career. Oh, no, he's not enjoying life, chat. The man's still working. Young Sinner, director in development. So is he taking Ryan Coogler's idea? And he's also in post-production for Vet Geheim van Gun. Maybe an international film? I don't know, Chad. We need a translation on that name. But Young Sinner? A young staffer in D.C. working for a powerful senator is drawn into a web of international intrigue and danger. Yes, Chad. A young staffer in D.C. would probably be a young sinner. Do we have a cast? No cast. Well, it's okay, Paul Verhoeven. If you need a cast, just hit up the Rem and Sam pod and we'll get on ChatGPT and we'll cast your movie for you. I mean, it's just going to end up being Sam and Billy Buckets and, you know, Dylan Harper. starring in young Dylan Harper is going to be a young staffer working in DC. Chad, Steph Castle. It's like, hey, when did Steph Castle get a role in movies? But that's what happens when you let the Remington pod cook, Chad. So I mean, we've just been letting Arnold's just been cooking over here like Pascal Siakam in the Eastern Conference Finals, Chad. But nobody can be stopped. The Mars sets are pretty expansive. I guess, did they film this in Mexico as well, too? Like, I don't know how much of this is CGI, chat, but the CGI is really great. And, you know, we're going to have to go later in the movie to see, because, again, they do a good job of setting Mars in some of the scapes. So I guess the CGI, I'm remembering now, because there is a couple of scenes here. I guess I'm not remembering. We're seeing it. But the CGI for them set against the train moving is definite green screen in the back. And there's a scene where the Beverly Hills cop chief is talking as well. I remember, like, there's like a definite outline where he is there. But the train moving through the desert here, chat, looks really good. The pan out from that is awesome. Just, again, the whole desert Mars setup is really great in general. And I still have a hard time figuring out, like, where he's at in this movie in terms of fantasy and reality. It's just, do we go top movies that are, like, you know, not difficult to follow, but, like, what's going on here? I guess Nolan obviously is the king of that with, he's got probably two of the Mount Rushmores with Verhoeven's got Total Recall, and then Nolan's got, what were we thinking? Inception and Tenet would be two, because you got Inception with the dream layer. It's like, okay, what layer of the dream layer? But I think Inception is not too difficult to understand, because, again, they do a good job of, I think, they sort of set each layer in a unique world. Like, what, one's raining, and then they got the snowy environment in the other one, and then, you know, obviously they go down into the bedroom portion as well, too, like the hospital bed, you know, way down in the subconscious scene eventually. But because there's these definite breaks in the worlds, you're not necessarily too lost. Where, you know, some of the top scenes and stuff with Leo getting messing around with the family can be a little like, okay, where's he at? And, you know, they're trying to mess you around with the end a little bit. And I get, because they're trying to leave the ending open-ended, you know, it is open-ended, but it's not the most, like, cliffhanger-y type ending with, is it all worked out in the end? Tenet is a little bit more not confusing to figure out necessarily where you're at in the movie, because once you watch the movie, about 5 or 7 times, you do get a gauge of, okay, at least he's going forward or backward in time. But the actual mechanics of, I guess, are we actually going to figure out the mechanics about time moves, chat? Probably not. Probably not going to be something scientifically that we end up checking off the list. But the mechanics of at least how it works in that movie is something that I feel like we can get a grab on. And and when we actually watch that, like, I don't know if I can explain it to you. I don't know if I need to watch it at least 7 more times before I can actually recite the plot. But when I watch the movie now, it does make sense. Like, I feel like I know what he's going for with the time bomb and trying to destroy, almost a little Marvel-ish, I think, with trying to destroy the timeline in a way. But I guess we still don't, like we're saying, have a good grasp of it. But we do. It's such a great set piece movie, and John David Washington does I'm a fan of the John David Washington performance in that, chat. Is he the next, I don't want to say the next Michael B. Jordan, but is he the next sort of guy in that lane where, I don't know where he's at in his career here. You know, are we off the lane here for Total Recall, chat? But you think Michael B. was hanging around in some of these action movies and being sort of a, you know, not necessarily a B-list star, obviously an A-list star, but I think a lot of people would have, until this Sinners movie, classified him as probably a tier 2 actor. Again, not necessarily a bad actor. I mean, maybe some people would have given him some more harsh critique than ourselves, but he's not necessarily, you would have not put him as an Oscar favorite every year. It's like, okay, what actor, just blank role, could win an Oscar? Just again, based on sort of the dynamicism of the performance. We don't even know what the performance is. Just what actors are capable of that level. He wouldn't have been a first draft pick for that necessarily. But after the Sinners role, now it's like, okay. And I feel like a lot of people, he was such a captivating and entertaining actor. That's like, when he figures out the right role to showcase those pieces, then it's really going to be a dynamic role. And I think John David Washington, again, maybe the Washington sort of bloodline is going to give him a little bit, does he have higher expectations as an actor? I guess we just assume the Washington family would be the first thing that pops up, chat. But apparently, the Washington Capitals and Washington, D.C. still a little bit higher on the rankings. But I guess John David, not too far off from making his name known in there as well, too, chat. And, former football player as well. So he is 40. Where's Michael B at right now? Michael B's 38. So, yeah, if we're just going age comparison, of course, they're at similar spots in their career. And I guess that's right, he did have Black Klansman as well, too. So I feel like he is just underrated right now for who could be hovering again in that. Like, if there were odds, chat, could we get good odds on John David Washington? Like, what does he have even on the doc? I'm trying to remember. Have I seen him in any trailers? Because he had that sci-fi movie, another sci-fi movie with the AI. What was that called, chat? I forget. I'm going to see it here when it pops up, and it's going to be obvious. The Creator. Yep. The Creator was the one. And that was 2023 at this point. So, yeah, I guess because that was a fall movie. So, fall 2024 would have been, a couple months ago at this point. So, The Piano Lesson was the last movie that he had. Does he have nothing up in the works, chat? Nothing in the works for our guy John David. What's going on? Taking a little time off here. So, since Tenet in 2021, Malcolm and Marie, Beckett, Amsterdam, The Creator, and The Piano Lesson. It has not been the hottest run for our guy John David. And again, you got the whole Ballers run from 15 to 19. He's a good actor, but I don't know if Ballers is a critically acclaimed show. A very enjoyable show. But The Old Man and the Gun, Black Klansman, Monster and Men. Devil in a Blue Dress, hanging around in that. Some younger roles, Malcolm X, I guess. But, yeah, chat, not the hottest 2020s for our guy John David. What's going on? Do we need to go next movie for our guy here? Let's see. David. Yeah, there we go. Washington. Next movie. Is he not in the Odyssey, chat? Everybody's in the Odyssey. The Creator? Yeah, it's going all the way back to 2023. With The Creator, that's already out as his next movie. Jaw-dropping, distinctive sci-fi. And this is a movie that we meant to watch when it got dropped. And unfortunately, we just never did, chat. 68% of Rotten Tomatoes is promising. I'm still in. Gemma Chan, reminding us why we probably should cast her in that Sydney Sweeney plot that we were developing a little bit earlier, or that heist movie that we were developing earlier, chat. But let's see here. Any news on the John David Washington next movie? Can we get anything? New horror movie has a great chance to smash a disappointing 7-year Oscar streak. Okay, so that's for The Piano Lesson. John David Washington and Malcolm Washington are a new kind of Hollywood dynasty. 9 Days. The gritty Denzel Washington crime thriller. Oh, is this the one with... Oh, 2 decades later? What, do they got Training Day now on Hulu? Is this what this article's about? Just a promo for Training Day running on Hulu again? I just want to know what movie they're talking about here. Let's see. One is Glory, which provided Denzel Washington his breakthrough role and remains one of the best Civil War movies of all time. However, was one of Denzel's 5 collaborations with the late great Tony Scott. The pair worked together on Crimson Tide, Deja Vu, Pelham 123, and Unstoppable. But it was 2004's Man on Fire that represented the very best of Washington and Scott's collab. Wait, who directed Out of Time? Did Tony Scott direct Out of Time as well, too? I mean, this really has nothing to do with Total Recall, chat. But who directed Out of Time? 2000. Oh, Carl Franklin, chat. Directed Out of Time. That's right. So speaking of Devil in a Blue Dress, I should have remembered just from the poster. They basically ran back Denzel, the director, and the poster as well, too. Devil in a Blue Dress. I guess, similar Denzel in the right third, chat. Ayo, but I mean, you got Sinai Lathan and Eva Mendes. You're probably going to slap them on the poster as well, too, chat. Ayo, should we just say put them on the poster? Probably. But John David is due for that next role again to remind us of, like, oh, yeah, this is one of the great actors. Is he one of the great actors that we have going right now, chat? We have stock still. We still have stock in John David. So, hey, can we get a remake of the Total Recall remake? I guess, are we remaking the 2012, or are we just going to pretend that didn't happen and remake the 1990? Can we cast John David Washington in a Total Recall remake? I know with Arnold sort of, again, being the bigger sort of imposing action star, like, is John David fit that role? Like, again, with Denzel, there's a little bit more of a sleekness in a everyday man that he can play, but then turn on the violence, or the action hero-ness when he needs to. But Arnold's just, of course, always walking around as the action hero. Even in the movie when he's trying to be sort of a normal person, like there's still going to be jokes and comments about Arnold and his size and, oh, you lift weights and just the whole thing. But yeah, what is the movie that I'm thinking of? Rebel Ridge. Like, who's the guy in Rebel Ridge, chat? Like, is that guy a little more Arnold? Or is it Rebel Moon? No, yeah, Rebel Ridge is the Netflix. Aaron Pierre. Like, what do we got here for Aaron Pierre, chat? Oh, we don't got the combine metrics for Aaron Pierre. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be crazy, chat. Here we go. Aaron Pierre, height and weight. Hey, yo, pause. It is what it is. 30, oh, man. Meters and kilograms. 6'3", 85 kilograms. So is Arnold like 6'6"? Am I crazy, chat? 6'7"? He's tall, of course. But is he just like a tall... Oh, Aaron, chat, Arnold. Here we go. Is he just like a tall normal person or a tall... Oh, Arnold Palmer? How tall is Arnold Palmer, chat? Or was it 5'10"? So the late, great Arnold Palmer could have also probably been an action star as well. But how tall was Arnold again? Just a reminder, chat. We got... we'll have to go back to the Arnold page here and see if we get a height on our boy. It's not going to say. Chat, how did we not know he's a bodybuilder? Like, you'd think dimensions would just be part of his profession on here. Wait, what kind of search would that be? Arnold Schwarzenegger dimensions, chat? Oh, it pops up as a suggestion. Inches? 52 by 34 by 22? Hey, yo, pause! Oh, so Arnold is 6'2". So, yeah, Aaron Pierre maybe goes more in the Arnold sort of imposing type star. But, again, if they recast it with Colin Farrell in the 2012 remake, Patrick Schwarzenegger shares details about Dad Arnold's Dr. Dolittle meets midlife crisis. So, what, Arnold's just adopted a bunch of animals now? Hey, yo, chat. Somebody get Arnold back in it. Let's make Total Recall 2 with Arnold in it and get him something to do. Let's see here, chat. Let's see what ChatGPT says. We had failures with our own movie. We can go back to that tab whenever we want. Let's see. We want how would John? This will be a new segment in our rewatches, chat. Will be how would John David Washington play in this role? Is this probably a ripoff of some Rewatchables award? Probably, but. How would... Oh, I guess it needs to specify. How would John David Washington perform as Quaid in a Total Recall remake? So, I mean, speaking of Sydney Sweeney, chat, John David Washington and Sydney Sweeney in Total Recall 2028 at this point? Who's not seeing that in the theaters? How would John David Washington perform as Quaid? And did we spell Quaid's name right? Probably not, chat. John David Washington has demonstrated... Oh, we messed up the zoom here, chat. Let's see. He has demonstrated strong aptitude for leading roles... Oh, we did it again, chat. Pause. In science fiction, notably films like The Creator and Tenet. His performance is often balanced physicality with emotional depth, essential for qualities like Douglas Quaid. In a Total Recall remake, in The Creator, blah, 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 given these experiences, could bring a nuanced interpretation of Quaid. Capturing the character's confusion, determination, and evolution, his background suggests he could handle the physical demands of the role while providing emotional complexity needed to explore themes of identity and memory. While casting decisions ultimately depend on creative direction of the remake, Washington's track record in science fiction it could be a compelling choice for the role. Okay, so let's see. Does it have any other recommendations? Who would be the best options? Arnold feels like one of the guys that could be tougher to recast in Hollywood, to be honest. Like, there's honestly guys that are just so perfect for certain parts and were so able to play the parts so well that it's just, again, it's difficult to recast because, like, how are we going to get better than that guy? Oh, Chad, it gave us John David Washington as a top-tier choice. I don't know if that's... Did we lead the witness there? Or is that real? I guess either way, we'll take it as an answer. We'll just assume that John David Washington is the number one choice either way. So he gets the part, chat. It is what it is. Strength: serious screen presence, thoughtful intensity. Less humorous or quippy than Quaid sometimes, but it could work with a darker taste. I don't know, Chad. I think John David Washington, again, like Denzel is pretty crazy, but this could be a crazy statement, Chad. This is a hot take. I think in terms of like great dads, I think John David Washington might be the son with the best. I guess, I'd have to really go through and look at history. But if you think, in our mind, you got Denzel as could be the case for the best actor of all time. I think you start putting the numbers in some of the, I'd have to start doing the real history breakdown, and some film buffs might, get into the debate between Marlon Brando and Denzel. Start looking at the resumes. But if I'm casting a movie, chat, I want Denzel as my lead actor, as just, again, base guy. Like, is this movie going to be good? Is it going to be rewatchable? Is it going to be commercially successful? I don't care really what the role is. Denzel's just going to be able to perform at all of those highest levels at every point in any movie. So I think John David Washington, again, you're like, okay, Denzel's like a top 5 actor of all time. I think John David Washington, again, does he have top 5 actor of all time potential? I'm not trying to be unfair, but in terms of, it's like the trade value thing, chat. I think John David Washington's trade value could be equal to Denzel, because at this point as well too, you get Denzel in a movie, the expectations are so high, and his acting is so good, it's not gonna, he's not gonna bomb a part that he's in. Maybe, Gladiator 2, I guess we didn't watch that, so I don't know. Is Denzel good in Gladiator 2, chat? We're just gonna believe that he is. Maybe we won't rewatch it, he's good in the trailers, so that's good enough for me. But I imagine that if he's good in the trailers, then he is good in the actual movie itself too. And now we should mention Arnold in the office of the, not the boss guy, Copenhagen, but because am I getting the name straight, right, chat? Yeah, Copenhagen is the guy from Beverly Hills Cop, but I forget what this guy's name is here. He is trying to, of course, he's the guy that's trying to talk Doug into thinking that he's in a dream state at this point, because they're trying to, obviously stop this guy from taking down their whole system. But let's go cast here and see. This is not Richter. Is this cool? No, this is, I should just know who the actor is as well too. Chet. Okay, this is Dr. Edgemere, a recall employee. So poor Edgemere just got a little too nervous in this moment and just started dropping beads of sweat. I don't know if there's a way, it's just, hey, yo, chat, I guess it just depends on where you sweat. If our guy got a little bit of the butt sweat when he was talking to Arnold, then maybe he makes it out alive. But the forehead sweat gave it away. I guess, would Arnold have pictured... See, the thing is, Arnold's just intimidating enough. He doesn't picture other guys, sweating. Hey, yo, pause. Whoa. But I guess he doesn't picture other guys being afraid of him in his dream. That's a thing that makes him think he's in reality. So again, speaking of this movie not being afraid of headshots, pause, Dr. Edgemere. No hesitation from our guy, Quaid, to just take him right out, chat. We didn't even see who the other nominees were. It doesn't even matter. John David Washington gets the part. But again, to say he's less quippy, the way that Denzel can be quippy, I think John David Washington can be quippy as well, too. Oh, speaking of Oscar Isaac, he's back, chat. Michael B. Jordan, so just listening to us talk, and Jake Gyllenhaal are the options. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Dev Patel, Yahya Abdul Mateen would not be bad as well, too. He could bulk up, too. He could get pretty imposing, I think. If you want a more psychological... Remy Malek and Pattinson could kind of fit in that role as well, too. John David Washington, though, is a solid pick. So maybe that means we're going to get John David Washington cast as an option in a lot of the movies that we cook up going forward. But that could be interesting. What about Sharon Stone's part? Let's see what we get here, chat. Is anybody worthy? Hey, yo, we even have to pick a chance. Or pick a response here and see who we get. I guess, is it just different people? So this one is, okay, this option is Ana de Armas, Charlize Theron again, Margot Robbie, Jodie Comer. Okay, and this one is Charlize Theron, Jessica Chastain, and I'm not going to get the name right, but yeah, this is the lady from Loki, and then the lady from Sinners as well, too. That could be crazy, chat. Her and John David Washington in Total Recall, that could be pretty crazy. She's going to be... we're going to need to get her cast in a Tubi original as well, too, before she becomes too she becomes too mainstream, high profile for our Tubi original. Too expensive, chat. We're gonna have to drop the whole budget. Just maybe it becomes like a smaller cast though for that movie. Really focus on the star power. Underrated but strong picks. So this is really just two separate lists at this point. It literally could not decide. So we've got Jessica Henwick, Vanessa Kirby, or Adria Arjona as an option. Andor and Morbius. Okay, not two things that I watch. Andor, though, had good reviews, so maybe she's an interesting new bet. Get her into the movie world, chat. The Tubi fans, are they watching Disney Plus? Oh, okay, chat. Not a pick whatsoever, I think. Definitely something to keep in mind. Tessa Thompson could be great as well, too. Oh, chat. A moment of silence for Sharon Stone. Consider that a divorce. Yeah, I don't know what the courts will say about that one, chat, but the marriage is done either way. Whatever, fake marriage, international spy system operation they had set up there at their home. But, again, he was not, he never seemed too regretful of his relationship with Sharon Stone throughout this movie. I don't think, I guess she never makes his other lady never, he's got multiple ladies in this movie, chat. His other lady never makes a big deal about it in this movie necessarily. I'm trying to remember, did we get a joke at some point? But maybe after the movie, there's like a coffee or a dinner later where it's like, okay, what was going on there? Like, did you know what was up? But, I mean, poor guy, him and his wife, you sign up for the dangerous game, chat. Maybe this day happens, but still a sad day. Now we've got him mad with revenge. I mean, anybody out for revenge for Sharon Stone is a lethal person to be contended with. I mean, already the person pursuing Sharon Stone is going to be lethal, but now it's like somebody's revenge? Could be even crazier, chat. Zazie Bates, back again as well, too. Wow, chat, even more options. Best duo pairing. Oh, whoa. Washington plus Jodie Comer. Washington plus Ana de Armas. Stylish, high glossy, and thriller energy. Washington plus Vanessa Kirby. That would be a tension-filled dynamic. Yeah, Chet, I imagine that. Hey, yo, those scenes would be nuts. I don't know if a Total Recall remake is a place to use that duo. I don't know. The Tubi movies where we cook it up. If we ever get past this Sydney Sweeney original, chat, maybe we put that one on the back burner for now and move on to a couple of the other ideas we had cooking. But, yeah, we might have to just make a Vanessa Kirby, John David Washington movie and just say, okay, what's the best movie to have these two, and what's the best plot to maximize these two characters, because that could be insane. And the Loki Sinners character as well, too, we'll get in a couple of movies. Florence Pugh, chat, Tessa Thompson. Too many great options. We'll have to do a casting and see what's going on. Do an audition. Call a bunch of people in for these parts. But a tunnel chase, chat. Iconic stuff. You love a tunnel chase. One way out. You love slow-moving vehicles in a chase as well, too. I mean, there's moving, obviously a hot take here, vehicle speed. But, and, moving through a tunnel, tight turns. Like, you're not going to be able to get up to bigger speed as well, too. Oh, the large drill. The underground drill. Oh, you don't want to run into that, chat. I mean, the guy operating the drill, not stopping whatsoever. I don't know if that was manually operated or we had a drone there, but he doesn't care, chat. He's like, I don't know who these taxi people... He probably just thinks it's normal taxi guys just driving, trying to cut the corners, get past the road real quick. Oh, chat, now we're going through Civilization. This is not good. But what's this, like an underground mall set up in this tunnel? Because again, it looked like we had, so I don't know if that's a mining community that they're going through there a little bit, but, oh, check the adult movie store in the background. Hey, yo, Mars is set up for everything. I guess this really is the underground scene of Mars at this point. Underground bars. Hey, yo, chat, we've got let's just say some underground looking ladies. A lot of underground looking buildings as well, too. So, I mean, a lot of red lights throughout Mars. The red lighting of Mars as well, too. I mean, what kind of atmosphere does that set everybody in? Okay, we've got The Secret Room. Clutch, chat. Of course, there's going to be a secret room somewhere around here. I mean, this all hinges on Tony letting him in the secret room, chat. Do they know that that is the building they go into? I mean, this could just be a big spot in town where they're like, I mean, okay, what's the spot that people are just going to naturally want to go to? Could be at this bar in town. It looks fun. I mean, there's no real dance floor situation, which is, I mean, and you know, chat, you can start wandering around this bar. I mean, you will start realizing why people are there as well too. Oh, chat, you don't need to do that. We don't need to kill the three the three-breasted mutant, chat. I don't know how many of those are walking around out here, but yeah, Tony's got to step in. Oh, chat, Tony. Not Tony. He's just trying to help out. Oh, now all of a sudden the bar. Oh, chat. Not good. Not good whatsoever. But, I mean, until tonight, it did look like a fun establishment. I don't know where this ranks in terms of, because you've got just fictional establishments in places as well, too. But if you went even a step further and you went fictional, if you went, or you know, I guess these would all be fake, or maybe not, chat, but if you went establishments, like galactic establishments, you know, what kind of international bars would you want to hang? We've got the Total Recall bar, and we've got the Cantina from Star Wars. But what other main, like, is there a place in Blade Runner 2049 that he goes to, or something? I'm trying to think of what other sci-fi movies that somebody might be hanging out at, like a, where might be somebody getting a bush light at, chat, in a in a sci-fi movie? Do they have, you know, do they have Buffalo Trace up in Mars yet? I guess, do they even have Buffalo Trace? I think goes back a ways, so I think Buffalo Trace probably goes back before Hollywood, honestly. At this point, maybe some of the bottles unopened yet, where there'll probably be a bottle in bottled before this movie was made. Maybe there's a bottle of Buffalo Trace made in honor of this movie that will be opened in '84. Do we need to look up like Total Recall alcohol and see? I mean, that could lead really to some places, chat. But hey, yo, the Total Recall alcohol. I was like, is there an alcohol we can drink and totally recall everything? But you know, is there a place where we could also go get these places in outer space, chat? I guess, again, for going fake places, but you know, Hogwarts is different as well. So Hogwarts not really an adult establishment. I don't know. I'm not big on the Harry Potter lore, so oh, chat, there goes the air. This is where the corporate overlords, or if they haven't been at their worst for this whole movie, this is where they are really taking over at their absolute worst, chat. The first settlers worked to death, just literally just some skeletons laying. I mean, you know, chat, it probably is what it is. Probably not too far off. Who knows how well researched this was for, you know, situations like that. It could be another, you know, of all the scary things in the present as well too, you know, some scary, or you know, present and future, some scary look back into the past as well. But yeah, what were we saying before that, chat? Sharon Stone, Sydney Sweeney's gonna be, I can't believe we didn't give us Sydney Sweeney as an option, chat, for Sharon Stone. Sydney Sweeney, I don't know if it's just going like actors. Did ZZ did she get nominated for an Oscar or something? There was some Golden Globe nominees in there. I know like John David Washington, I don't think he's got nominated for an Oscar for his acting yet. But has Sydney Sweeney not been nominated for a Golden Globe either? That could be crazy, chat. And maybe Michael B as well too. Like Michael B could do a Total Recall level thing. Like Michael, I guess, again, Arnold was such a big star as well too. But now that Michael B's crossed over, like maybe is it a different part of his career where Arnold was at that point? Going into Total Recall, like he hadn't had the Sinners, like Arnold I don't think ever had, you know, Sinners in his career. But does he have like a maybe what Tom Cruise could be going for next? Because I've, you know, been hearing conversation about what could be next for Tom Cruise after the Mission Impossible stuff, and it's like, does he pursue, you know, quote unquote more, you know, you don't want to say serious acting roles, but does he try to get into some of the more awards conversation and define some of this legacy stuff as he moves into the twilight of his career? And I don't know what, again, Arnold has planned for an acting career at this point. But is there like a one more awards type role that he could get? I mean, you think as a bodybuilder, Chad? I don't know. There's not some sort of weightlifting wrestler role that he could Let's see. Is he retired from acting? Because again, he was making some. He was popping up in some of the Terminator movies recently. But let's go back here. What was the most recent movie that he had made? What year was that? 2019. Oh, so he does have 2 movies being dropped now. Kung Fury 2 and The Man with the Bag. He's playing Santa Claus in The Man with the Bag. So maybe it's just, I'm playing sort of, you don't want to say family movies. Not everything's a family movie, but, playing more fun roles is maybe he's just leaning into what he does best. But because even Eddie Murphy obviously had Dolomite Is My Name as well, too, in there where, now he's back. He's doing Beverly Hills Cops 4. But he still had that actor breakthrough moment where people recognized him for the talent as well, too, not just the funness of the career. And didn't Stallone have that a little bit with Creed as well? So I feel like Arnold needs that role, or I'm just not knowing what that role is from some of these 2000 movies. Around the World in 80 Days was his cameo in that role. I don't know if it was, chat. Maggie in 2015? Is it Maggie, the apocalyptic horror drama? Hey, yo, chat. Maggie not looking good here on that poster. Arnold, he might be in trouble. Don't protect her, Arnold. It may not do you good, unfortunately, in this case. But I wonder if there is that type of recognition, and maybe there is I don't know if there's the lifetime achievement-y Oscar-y thing that he can get as well too. Because didn't they give that to Jackie Chan as well, where he obviously didn't get one for an individual role, I think, but he got the lifetime achievement here. Let's see, and I guess we can see Arnold. I mean, he's got to have some awards, chat, more so than just the bodybuilding awards. Entertainment, I think, Primetime Emmy winner for producing, and then a 2012 Inkpot. Is this some comic related thing? So not actually a ton of awards in the movie. You'd think I don't know, a People's Choice or something, chat. I guess they didn't have People's Choice when Predator was being made back in the day. Okay, there is some MTV Movie Awards here. Let's see, 1992 Best Male Performer. Yeah, Terminator 2. Okay, when did the MTV Movie Awards start? Okay, in 1992. So yeah, I would have missed his run as an action hero there in the 80s. Yeah, I guess we didn't have that popular culture rise in TV in the same way in the 90s. 'Cause I think still limited in the channels, but MTV and some of the other stuff is starting to pop up at this time as well too. Teen Choice in 04 for Terminator 3. Hey yo, chat. Hey yo. So he has the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 87. So way already in the 80s. Was locked in as a Hollywood legend at that point. Male Star of the Year, Golden Apple Award. Okay, no, I don't know how prestigious that one is. GQ Man of the Year Award in 2017. Legend of the Century as well, too. But again, he hasn't had a lifetime Oscar, which I can't imagine that he won't have. Again, all of these iconic rewatch movies. If you're just going, amount. If it was almost like a Spotify streaming thing, again, we were talking about the movies going platinum, the artists going platinum, Arnold, honestly, again, has to be one of the highest-selling actors of all time. And I guess we could look up actors' box office as well, too. I think, modern day, some of the superhero guys are going to have the advantage in that. But, yeah, Academy Award 2016, Academy Honorary Award, again, this is for Jackie Chan, awarded for his extraordinary achievements in film. And you would assume similar type of careers. I think Jackie Chan is a better actor than Arnold. But, has never gotten that final sort of legacy recognition, like we were saying, except for the Inkpot in 2012. An honor bestowed annually since 1974, given to professionals in the field of comic books related to areas of popular culture. So, yeah, let's see here. Can we look up highest grossing actors by movie? I guess because you could look it up by the amount that they made in their movies, but we want the actual amount that the movies made themselves, like how popular these movies were. So, because Saldana would be, she's been in Avatar and Endgame. So she, like, how much was she getting paid compared to Tony Stark in those movies versus, again, Robert Downey has been in a bunch of Marvel movies, so he would be up there as well too. But Saldana being directly tied to, and does she get supporting nods for both of those versus, would it be counted as the main star as well? Oh, here we go, chat. Worldwide total, Samuel L. #1. This list includes only leading roles and leading ensemble roles and voice acting. This list is updated as of March 12th, 2024. So again, adjusted for inflation, this might be messed up. And Samuel's in 66 films. Scarlett Johansson 52. So we got 60 plus films for, and Robert Downey in 65. So it said Arnold was in 40. So he may strive in more of the average than the total number. Vin Diesel, chat, 28. Yeah, the modern franchises, like we're saying, those numbers are going to be crazy. Stan Lee! Whoa, chat. Stan Lee, the highest paid actor of all time. Oh, and that was leading roles for Samuel. Yeah, if you go all his roles, 142 roles. That makes sense. Frank Welker. Whoa, chat. He put in the work and he got paid. 112 movies, $17 million made over the course of his career. Pretty good. Am I reading that right? 100,000, 17 billion. So is that that's the gross of his movies then, obviously. So Stan Lee, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would make sense there. Okay, Chad. Okay, so yeah, it would have to be the gross of all of Arnold's movies, and again, him being in some of the 100 millions versus, his movies making billions and billions of dollars. But how many times was he at the top of the box office as well too? So wait, what was this? Up until 66? Oh, so this wouldn't have both ways Arnold is screwed, chat. Oh, here we go. 2000? Oh, ticket sales. This is interesting. Clark Gable, John Wayne, Bing Crosby, James Stewart, Cary Grant, Spencer Tracy, Gary Cooper, Mickey Rooney, Harrison Ford, and Gregory Peck. Oh, chat. So Arnold not in the top 10 there. Up until 2000. So I think most of his major run for ticket sales, I mean, he still has, I guess, that is a lot of sales, a lot of tickets probably left on the board, as well too. But in terms of the major movies, the legacy of the career, has he had anything since 2000 to add into that in a major way that I'm not thinking of, chat? I guess the Expendables as well. And, there's going to be a lot of overall money probably made from some of these, again, Expendables and other Terminator movies as well too. Wonders of the Sea 3D. Did that do well in theaters? But let's see here. By movie, is that the best way to look for it? Let's see because I guess they are getting a little more AI with the search, so maybe we can get a little more vague with the prompts, chat. We can start calling these Google searches prompts, I guess. Let's see here. Which actor has it? Whoa, chat, that today. Which actor has the most popular movies, or should we say most watched movies, maybe? Because this could just be a vague, biased ranking as well too. 37 actors who have been in the most movies. Okay, that's just an amount. While most actors would be lucky to bag 20 or 30 movies in their career, these actors would go on going above and beyond. Here's 25 actors who have starred in the most Hollywood movies. So, oh yeah, the highest grossing actors again. So which actors have been in the most watched? We'll try that, and then if not, I guess I'll just have to do more research and see if we can find a better way. Because I guess, again, they probably aren't tracking. There's not probably a lot of public information on the watch time for the movies. But you imagine Arnold is way up there as well too, and time spent. These movies have been out for this one is again as well too. Like I'm saying, 35 years. Gonna rack up a little bit more time than maybe a Winter Soldier. It's been around a little bit longer, but 25 actors have starred in the most. Eric Roberts is the most active. Hollywood actor. That could be true in many, many ways, chat. But I guess, yeah, there we go. Saldana was fourth for her movies being worldwide grossing anyways. Because, again, does she have the rest of the movies? Like maybe, Downey, like he has Oppenheimer as well too. That has grossed pretty well. Like movies like maybe Zodiac and some of those other B tier Downey movies. I get B tier in the popularity of them. Probably grossed really well. At least some of them did in the box office too. So they're trying to re-brainwash Arnold, chat. They've got him pretty good at this point. Really, this is one of the few, like, only Arnold could get out of this type moments. And that is the fun thing about Arnold as well, too. I mean, that's obviously not an uncommon thing in action movies. But, I mean, a lot of it as well, too, is either training or tech that a guy has versus just his ability versus a bunch. Because, again, if your ability oftentimes is supernatural, then it is, like, literally supernatural. Like, you're just Superman. You're a superhero. It's common knowledge that you have and more enhanced abilities than just you're not just a strong person. Like, Arnold really does toe the line, and maybe in this one even more so, I guess, in some of those action movies as well too. But he does toe probably the most line of superhuman and actual human, and it's probably a lot as well too. Like I was saying, the tropes of how they're using the people, like. We get movies today where it's like Bob Odenkirk is like the unassuming guy on the bus that's gonna start beating up all the people. Like, the modern superhero is a little bit more vague in the stuff, but in the 90s, it's like, okay, Arnold's just gonna go in and just break everything and be basically like a Hulk like superhero. But I mean, his escape here is basically just like a, almost a superhero level escape. In a way, but again, it's Arnold, so you believe it. But it's like, okay, yeah, I guess Arnold's like the only guy that is capable of breaking through and making this happen. But that's great for the role as well, like we're saying, great for the uniqueness of the role. And what makes him so hard to recast, pause, like it's, easy to say that you just pick a big bulky guy to play that spot. Chris Evans has definitely thrown some mass on in his day, like Chris Hemsworth. Like, those guys could definitely be physically imposing in a way on screen similar to Arnold, but not even so, chat. Like, there's just obviously his physique and his imposing. And I think as well, too, Arnold, like we're saying he's 6'2", but really, do we have to go average height for 1990, chat? Like, actually, here, let's see what we got. Average height for 1990, because I think Arnold was a little bit taller for back in the day than like a 6'2" guy now. It's like the NBA, chat. 6'2" in 1990 versus 6'2" in 2025. It's different versatility on the court. So yeah, he just rips the seat apart and then immediately just stabs both of the guys, chat. Brutal, violent stuff. That's not a good way to go. But based on what archaeologists have been able to dig up about the 1990s. Hey, yo, males had an average height of 5'5" in 1990? Hey, yo, chat. Average height of man by year of birth. So I don't know if that'd be the exact correlation. We could probably figure that out pretty easily. Human height, our world data, rankings, men height, data visuals. Let's see what this one is here, chat. What was that one? Average height of men by birth year. So I don't know. Arnold probably 35, 40 in 1990. We go... born in 1950, chat. Oh, it's gonna be centimeters. That's messed up, chat. That is messed up. The Netherlands, I guess. Arnold not necessarily born. He was born probably closer to the Netherlands than he was to the U.S. So maybe that height might actually be a little bit more accurate, chat, in a way. But 6'2". Is there like a modern day height calculator, chat? Can we get that? Can we get like a height over time calculator? Is that the best way to calculate? This is crazy, chat. Has anybody ever looked up like how do we calculate the equivalent height of Arnold on screen to find the right actor? Like, is it gonna have to be the Reacher guy on Prime? Like, is that the next guy we have to recast in all the Arnold movies? Height over time chat. Calculator. Okay, let's see here. I think we got that right. Height calculator. How tall will I be? Height calculator comparison. Okay, that's just for calculating your child's height. No, why can't it just tell us the average height of a guy in 1990? It shouldn't be that difficult. Probably because Microsoft sucks as a search engine. Arnold better hurry up, chat. The population of Mars is literally running out of breath. They cannot keep up right now. Let's see here. Oh, by day? By age? I don't know when this graph was made. And that's just going to be like the growing up, not just like every age at that given time. Future height predictor. Chat, apparently that stat is going to be impossible to find, though it shouldn't be. Okay, we're going to have to pull a B-Loo chat and go to google.com and see if we get a different search engine. Actually helps us out. Average male height in 1990. Bam, easy question. 5'8.5". Bam, perfect. Microsoft, get out of here. Y'all weak with your search engine. It's not great. In 1990, the average height for a man in the United States was around 5'8". So if we go average height for a male in 2025, oh, okay, 5'9". So Arnold would need to be 6'2.5", I guess. So, yeah, I guess who is the guy? Aaron Pierre does kind of work in a Total Recall remake as well. I guess maybe they just casted shorter people next to Arnold in the role on purpose. Or again, he just maybe especially now as well too focused on fitness. Like that is another thing as well. Like I guess you still do get maybe like your tiny old guy or something in the movie. You do get just like your random normal everyday man. Oh, Arnold chat getting ripped up by the drill underground. I mean, how did that drill just not like take his arm off? Oh, chat. Oh, I forget. Do they like get ground up here and then it's a dream? What happens? He's getting beat up pretty good. For some reason, I don't remember these last couple of scenes as well, but that's perfect, chat. That's perfect. Does this end like the 2010s Predators, where they're just like, okay, now we really got to find a way off this planet? Or do they actually make it out okay? What's going to happen? Is Arnold going to be okay, chat? Am I crazy? Has Arnold ever died in a movie? I don't think so. Unless it was a newer one that I'm not thinking of. Oh, chat, here we go. Here we go. Can Arnold save the day? Drilling just in time. Don't get his friend. Oh, chat. He got him. I guess I forget. Were they enemies at that point? Was he attacking him? Like I said, I for some reason don't remember. Are we going to have to read the plot line to keep up with these last couple of scenes, chat? Maybe. But, yeah, we gushed over Arnold enough. Hey, yo, pow. But it's a Arnold moving into a phase as a different actor, still with the charm and the looks of the Mr. Olympia action hero 80s, getting ready to move into a fun, family-friendly 90s. Again, that movie you're probably showing to your 6-year-old, but I guess if they're probably not. I don't know. A three-breasted mutant. Maybe it's just so weird that it's like, okay. Chat, DM us at REMINGTOM on Instagram. How old do you have to be before that's like a thing that you could introduce? So before it's like, okay, in good conscience, you can introduce that into the lives of other people. But, oh, that's right. Yeah. So they're gonna work to, of course, make. Spoiler alert. I guess he's just laying out the plan there. They're gonna work to make Mars a livable environment. But I forgot what happened with that friend, chat. Should we double check here? Okay, plot point check on Total Recall. What happened with that guy that they had to just kill? I mean, taking everybody out in the journey here. Mutants lead them to the hidden rebel base. They're brought to Cohagen, who explains that Hauser was his close friend. Cohaven. Okay, chat. We're gonna skip too far ahead here. I'm gonna be not as cohesive with the. Oh, here we go. Benny shoots George, revealing himself to be in Copenhagen's employ. Copenhagen's force attack, killing the rebels. Quato implores Quaid to start the reactor before. Okay, Jay. So yeah, he basically just proves that he was on Copenhagen's side at that point. Ayo. But, and I guess Sharon Stone as well too. I mean, how often does, she's willing to take a more experimental part and not necessarily be made the guy that's like, okay, I have to make it out at the end. Oh, chat, the Denzel at end of training day level ambush on our guy Arnold here. Did they just miss him a million times? Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. Only Arnold could make it out of this okay. Only our guy could just totally shake off 100 bullets, chat. Hey, yo, got him. The tech. Apple Vision Pro for the win, chat. The hologram. Stealing from Star Wars. I guess we'd have to figure out, in the 16 years that this movie was in development, how many different sci-fi movies did they take from? They're like, oh, holograms from Star Wars? No lightsabers in this movie. That's for sure. But at least pretty good hologram technology. So that's, of course, the ricochet of the bullets is going to be a little bit of an interesting situation when they fire into the hologram. It did seem like the hologram was absorbing up some of the ammunition at that point. But you think, especially the guys like firing through, they're just going to fire up against the guys on the other side. So, I mean, it could work. The plan could work on the other way, that when both guys, I guess, again, both guys are kind of, they're, smartly kind of firing down into the ground. But still, you just get crossfire both ways, and all of a sudden the both guys. There we go. So they get it with her running away there, but not in the main crew against Arnold and the squad. So their version of a maze scene chase. I mean, you always got to have one, chat. We got to make sure. I don't know if we don't have every scene of the movie in our Tubi originals, but we just got to have a scene where there's some sort of maze chase. This time it's the big pillars that they're hiding behind in the reactor place, but always some sort of labyrinth, I guess, maybe more so than, because I guess mirror maze situations, like you get a John Wick actual literal mirror maze situation. But sometimes again, you just need a big labyrinth thing of things to hide behind, and somehow this guy is still holding on to the moving elevator while Arnold just broke his arm as well. So I mean, Arnold perfectly aligns him to get crushed, which is oh, chat, the arms clean off. Not great. That's one of the more brutal deaths, chat. Hey, yo. Luckily, 1990s is, for as much as everything aged, there's at least, you can at least get through that one if you're a little bit not up for the violent stuff like your boy is sometimes. But we can be adults here, chat. Total Recall. We'll sit through it. It's fine. We're all good. Arnold. I mean, maybe it's more just we get scared, and if Arnold is the action hero at the end of the day, then we know that Arnold is probably going to save the day. So it's just, if Arnold needs to rip a guy's arms off to get to the reactor, then he's going to do it, chat. And really a great role by our guy. I mean, what else is he in, chat, besides Total Recall and Beverly Hills Cop? A great Beverly Hills Cop run as well too. Ronnie Cox, shout out, chat. Let's see what we got here for filmography. Also, his first film is Deliverance, chat. Hey, yo, I just threw that one into the watch list as well too. Wait, who directed that? Maybe it wasn't Vanderhooven. It was John Borman. Wait, why did I? Oh, Burt Reynolds. I think I was just adding in a couple of Burt Reynolds movies. I think it's because we were going through Smokey and the Bandit and we just went down a Burt Reynolds rabbit hole. Oh, there for a second. So Deliverance. Oh, Bonanza. He is in a couple episodes of Bonanza, isn't he? I remember that now, Chad. I used to watch Bonanza a little bit back in the day. Shout out. Kind of a fun show. Interesting run there for a second, chat. An episode of Fantasy Island as well. Fallen Angel TV film. Two of a kind. Whoa. My bad, chat. My bad. Steel Justice. 1987. Vision Quest. 1985, chat. Whoa. Oh, speaking of him, RoboCop. So he's working with Vanderhooven here, I guess. He works with Vanderhooven and both of Vanderhooven's. Oh, he's in Loose Cannons? The Dan Aykroyd, Gene Hackman. Well, speaking of our guy, our guy Dan Aykroyd. Speaking of, Dan Aykroyd's one of our guys, chat. But Gene Hackman, of course, legendarily one of our guys. Captain America, a 1990 Captain America. What's this, chat? I guess I knew that there was a 90s Captain America, but I guess I didn't know it was actually a thing. Wait a second. So his nemesis, the Red Skull with Ronnie Cox. Wait, what role did he play in this? President Tom Kimball. Huh. So Captain America, you're a werewolf. So Tom Kimball is the one that drops the weapon, chat, in Oppenheimer, I guess, in the American comics. So a kind of a main role. Who's Captain America? Matt Salinger? Revenge of the Nerds and Captain America. Interesting filmography there, chat. Baby Fever? Not much after that. Mojave Moon. Hey, yo. Baby Fever. Fortunes of War? Bigger Than the Sky. Learning to Drive. With Ben Kingsley? A Call to Spy. 2019. And then The Ice Road. In 2020. Oh, Liam Neeson and Lawrence Fishburne. Okay, this one might not be too bad, chat. Look, a little Ice Road Trucker situation here. Okay, I could be into that. Oh, Arnold, can you get there, chat? In time, there we go! Power up the reactors, save the day. A little Edge of Tomorrow-esque with the ending. Or I guess, Edge of Tomorrow, maybe. The last second, get to the core sort of ending. Hey, yo, pause. But yeah, Ronnie Cox, Captain America, 1990. Scissors? 1991? Okay, L.A. Law. Deep Blue Sea. 1999, chat. Samuel L. Michael Rappaport and LL Cool J. It stars Saffron Burrows. A shark horror film. That could be terrifying. But LL Cool J, Michael Rappaport, and Samuel L. Saving the day, chat, just on a boat trying to save this person from a shark, maybe? That could be fun. That sounds like that should be on Tubi. Cold Case, imagine that. Dexter, Nashville, 2018 Star Trek Prodigy series. Okay, so... Oh, Perry Mason? Oh, wait, that's older, or newer Perry Mason, 1990s. I need the original Perry Mason from back in the day. That would be the one. Oh, Taps. He's in Taps, I guess, as well, too, Chad. So, pretty stacked IMDb for our guy, Ronnie Cox. And I mean, between Total Recall and Beverly Hills Cop, he is going to be on the TV screen quite a bit, chat, as a supporting character. It is what it is. But oh, chat, there goes Mars, the corporate billionaire's nightmare. Free air for everybody. Uh-oh, chat. It's a good thing they didn't get any ideas. They were like, oh man, I wish we would have thought of that before we set this place up. We could have run the air in this country. I don't know what else is left, chat. At this point, who knows? But it's like, oh, go to Mars. It's our last spot. It's like, or you just get the air in Mars, but you don't want to own the air, and you want to make Arnold have to go in and destroy the reactor. Because make no mistake, if we need to send, I guess, Sharon Stone was not a good guy in this movie, but if we need to send Arnold and Sharon Stone in to destroy the reactor, they still got it, chat. I still trust them. To be honest, they'd still be up on the top of my board. If we needed to assemble a team to go to Mars and destroy a reactor for, to get rid of an evil corporate guy, I would still have full confidence in Margot Robbie and Sharon Stone to get the job done. Or, Margot Robbie too, chat, but Arnold Schwarzenegger and not Margot Robbie. I was gonna say Margot Robbie again, chat. Another one that we're thinking of for the Sharon Stone belts. Hey, yo, whoa, what belt is that? Do we need to go into details? But Sharon Stone and our guy Arnold, I still think can accomplish whatever tests they need to. Maybe Margot Robbie and Will Smith in Total Recall. They had Focus in 2015. Maybe they get back together again in AO in a Total Recall remake. They did have a pretty good dynamic in that movie, chat. And I think Will Smith is obviously a good enough movie star to be able to do an action role, I think, like Total Recall. And I'm just thinking, like, who's the best that she's had chemistry with? Obviously, her and Leo in Wolf of Wall Street, but Leo's just a different kind of action star. Again, is he going to be in the, is he, John David Washington, Margot Robbie, I think could be pretty fun, but just Will Smith, obviously, his presence is a little bit of a different thing. So if it was if it was Sweeney though, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, chat. Hey, yo, Glenn Powell is Arnold in Total Recall. Maybe Glenn Powell really gets on the protein powder at that point. And then, I mean, if Glenn Powell goes Arnold level bulking for this Total Recall remake, I mean, just lock in the... And, Sydney Sweeney's like, well, I'll take that role again. I don't even know if you were calling me, but please let me have that role. It seems like a lot of people might be jealous of that at that point. Tessa Thompson was a sleeper, though, as well, too, chat. That could be really fun. So now you get an active volcano on Mars, but you do get air. So it's just a give and a take, chat. You get an active volcano set up where your village is right. Or is the volcano spewing oxygen? Am I crazy? Is this the most awesome volcano of all time? But either way, you get blue skies, a sunny day, free air for everybody. Arnold gets his eyes reset into his face again. Seems like he's gonna live as well too. Unfortunately, disfigured Tony still, the new atmosphere doesn't reset his face. But at least he can, I don't know if he can breathe out of his face either as well too. Tony might be the one guy that it's like, well, free air's not doing me any good. I still need a mask. Tony might honestly be Bane. It might be the origin story of Bane. Bane, did Bruce Wayne make it off of Mars? The Total Recall Mars colony. The 8-Ball Club, chat. Is that where they're at? Is that the club that got shot up there? The 8-Ball Club. So again, you don't want to be at the 8-Ball Club tonight. Unfortunately, probably wouldn't have made it out. But any other night, and honestly, especially after this as well too, where the air is free, you get to go to the 8-Ball Club and have free air, chat. I mean, hey, yo, those might be the best shots of all. Just shots of free air. Free air and Jameson all night at the 8-Ball Club. It's going to be nuts. I mean, is that the Grand Canyon or is that Mars? I guess they were in Mexico, I thought. We read there for the filming. But Arnold saving the day. Again, just a beautiful film, chat. This scene as well, too. A closing scene. I know some of the green screen work in the past scenes is not bad. But this, and to be honest, like, who cares, chat? I get that technology has gotten better and more sleek. But we get it. They're making a movie here. It's 1990. They're doing the best they can. The story, as long as the story works and the characters are cool, I'm in. And the scenery behind them is, again, gorgeous. And it all works. So, iconic stuff. Arnold, Sharon Stone, Ronnie Cox, Rachel Ticoitin, chat. All of them. Total Recall. 30 years later. Still a classic, chat. And, in 30 years, 2084. I don't know if it'll be one of those movies where like, what's happening, Arnold? Where are you at? Save the day. But we'll see you on Mars in 2084, I guess, people. Or we'll see you here back again Tuesday night, the REMINGTOM pod. I'll be looking forward. The Tuesday night one is going to be fun. We've got the one more live stream before the finals start. But after the finals, it's going to be quite a few No Sports live stream chats, so get used to it. But Tuesday, we've got a little... It's a finals preview. I want to spoil it, but it'll be fun, chat. It's a little different. We're looking forward, chat. We're going back to the future on Tuesday, but not the movie. I guess that'll be the spoiler teaser alert for that. But yeah, we'll be here live again Tuesday night. Same bat time, same bat schedule, chat. It doesn't change even if there's no basketball. The podcast feeds still go up on the podcast platforms as well. And the messages are open at REMINGTOM on Instagram if you guys want to send us a DM and communicate with us over there as well. So, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us Sunday afternoon. A little Sunday afternoon movie live stream chat. We're auditioning to make the Tubi movies. We want to schedule the TNT Sunday afternoon movies. We want to run the Pluto. We're just taking over Hollywood, chat. Now that the NBA is over, it is what it is. The REMINGTOM pod does not stop. And like I said, we will be back Tuesday. Thank you.